And no.
I like that you did a fake like 10 seconds there. That was nice.
It gets you all quiet, and then I go, and then I turn the music down, and then everything is wonderful. Good evening, and welcome to Kyra's a Racist.
Fuck you! Not racist.
Oh, we got to deny it, which means it's definitely true.
What side are you on?
The not racist side.
Oh dear.
The things she said before the camera was turned on. It's just hideous. We're joking, of course. She only hates some people.
Some of us agree with it. Well,
okay, that's actually
those damn whites. Anyway.
True. They have all the money. All the time.
Do we?
Well, we don't.
We
'cause
used
we
to
were too
own
poor
all the
to
land,
choose.
and we still do, but it's not as fun now. What?
Oh,
Bo Burnham. Straight white man.
Nobody go into politics now. None of us can.
Why?
What?
We're probably better than most anyway.
That is true. That is true.
I mean,
Actually.
I've not done cocaine in a while, so yeah.
I played it at a gig once.
One day we'll start this podcast in a sensible manner. And it
Boy? Is that what you want, really? No, is that what you want?
So,
Is it?
just a behind the scenes thing here, just for you guys. These three are doing some things over there. I don't know.
I'm doing nothing.
A
I'm just
couple
good.
of nearly a year ago now.
nearly.
Kyra turned around to me and said, I really like those really fun chats at the beginning of the sessions because they make us seem like we have character. So can we keep those in before the sessions? And every 3 or 4 episodes,
It's your fault.
Also, what the fuck was that?
worth it is what it was.
What was
Worth
that
it.
crow
The
drowning?
reason why we stream now. That's what it is.
Who's slipping under the table? She's become the cuddle puddle on her own. There you go. But before we start, only 2 of our normal players. Kyra has been sadly...
Which means that we're definitely gonna die.
I mean, better than that.
Steve is already doing his excited
Stop
face.
resting your chin in your
Which
boobs.
means we're definitely gonna die.
Anywho, so
That's Hannah and I are professional.
That's usually me.
It's great fun.
what's there having right? Oh, what's Kyra's having right now over there?
Hang on, I can...
We'd like to thank 2 people from the Patreon. We have a Picto Pirate to thank. Thank you, Picto Pirate. We love you.
Thank you.
And after much debate, and if you're listening to this, sir, I apologise. I genuinely thought you were trying to get my card details because most men who solicit me on the internet are. Richard Blackwater is actually a real human, guys.
It's a real human.
So we can
And
say
not a spam bot.
Yay!
thank you, Richard.
Thanks, Richard. I'm making you a brave.
He messaged the other day because I was like, where with how spam things for fun for you guys. Patreon, you normally get them the highest tier. They do nothing, and then they drop out a day or 2 before they're charged on the first of the month. So when he is still a Patreon on our account, I was like, oh, hi Richard, are you okay there? Can we help you with anything and all that? And it was very lovely. And hopefully those that are interested will know that they can join Richard and Picto on our new Discord.
Yeah.
Which means that we can send gifts at each other.
We have
I'm
learned
good at
that we
gifts.
are the IT crowd.
It's basically...
That's what's happened on Discord so far.
Oh yeah, I should actually look at that.
This
Literally
makes this joke
a
even
selling
funnier.
point.
Is the Discord is literally just our message feed, but with the fans in. Or at this
Yeah, we
case,
just replaced the group chat with Discord.
Oh, that's why I started deleted Discord. That's why.
the other thing that's
Cool.
fun is
You will re-download it.
the fan rather than the fans. Yeah, because Picto, you're enough. Yeah. Hopefully you're watching this on Wednesday.
He's being rewarded with a one-shot on Saturday.
Nice.
I'm gonna try not to kill him like
Oh, yeah.
I killed you.
Just because modifiers unknown got cancelled doesn't mean that
Count.
she's resting.
The best character. The nicest character I've ever had.
I know, it wasn't by choice. It's the luck of the dice, man.
It's alright, his
Luck
accent
of the
haunts
dice.
you every day.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I mean, it gave us two of the greatest characters of.
Yes, it did.
Of this campaign so far.
I mean, on stand she was amazing.
No, I said characters, not Kyra.
Fuck off! Ours? Honest
I would drop the mics, but the podcast would mind it.
It's funny because it's true.
No, and you will find out about that, which is coming soon, in our new series, AU Silence, which is the other thing I wanted to announce. Last week or the week before.
They
guys
finally just noticed your new mini.
Figure.
Can I touch?
This
Now
is
that
it.
Ellipsis is actually part of the group.
I just thought it was Grimnir again.
This is the guy who said he didn't want to hang around because I only wanted to do a small storyline with him. And then it got a little crazy.
She's
such a badass.
Look at the worms!
Genuine comment from Emma was, I looked at it, I went, how have you made a miniature sexy? I was like, because it's basically not.
He's
but
got
below.
a really
Anyway,
nice storyline.
Anyway, yes, AU Silence. The other week we had
okay.
a weekend where we weren't available, so we didn't record, so therefore we didn't have a podcast either. So, to rectify this in the future, I will be recording small one-shots of duets in the style of Monty Python, apparently.
Slasher's back, bitches.
One of the first confirmed ones is how the fuck Slasher and possibly Scarrow are alive 200 years after they should have died. Because
I don't know how much anybody else really knows, because we don't really,
we don't talk about what we use as a backup characters, but just in case you hadn't heard, Slasher is now a backup character.
Slasher is the little sweary Welsh 9-year-old from the one shot I ran during campaign.
Do you remember the really annoying character that I made a great character out of by giving it a sword for a leg? Because
She's my favourite.
sorry, you did a great one, Siobhan.
Shut your face! It was very enjoyable.
It was.
Was it? Was your one shot enjoyable?
Anyway.
I mean, our hearts were all broken, so yes, it was.
So, for those sort of things, on the weeks that we can't stream, there won't be a Sunday stream, but there will still be a podcast of AU Silence, named after the ship that is the ship of Ship Craven,
Oh.
because there's storyline happening in that bitch too. Anyway, right. Are you alright?
She's got power stunts going
Hannah
on.
missed her mouth.
I spilled my drink down me.
Oh, I love you. It's okay. It's okay.
So
You're
hard.
blushing.
Yes.
Oh my god. This is...
Shut your face!
The things you have said, like I slaughter 29 children because...
I didn't.
And
Kyra
that
did.
that wasn't in the one shot, that was the other day when we were at work.
They were really annoying.
We really didn't want that showing. Anyway,
Oh.
so, cool. Yes, any announcements from the loves?
We love you.
Patreon. Oh,
Patreon.
get one of these. And
Uh,
make them. Shame.
If that's everything for you lot. Everything for me.
Oh god.
Why D&D?
Let's play the
Point
Dungeons
of
and
fruit.
Dragons. Oh yeah, just one last thing. As usual, I hope it's working. If you talk to us on the chat, I have it there. I will try to pay attention to it, but I am also trying to establish a world for these people to play in.
Yeah.
DMs are such ball aches.
Yeah, they are.
Anyway,
And yet you keep coming back.
I mean, you lot keep paying me.
In social interaction.
We love you, Steve.
In
Feed
friendship.
slide!
System error. Alignment. Unknown.
Oh, they had a little thing together, wasn't it cute? No, I shall ruin this in a minute.
I don't know what to say to you sometimes.
Welcome back to Alignment. Right, sit down, listen, then we'll get to we'll get to, I mean, it could have been to anyone, guys. I wasn't speaking to you guys. There's a podcast and a stream, and Occasionally, there is Hannah suggesting she needs breast implants. Oh no. Hang on. No, she just likes to jiggle them up and down to dry them more.
To dry them? What?
It's like she's just spilled her drink down her. It was.
I mean, I prefer the windmill technique.
I was saying that
personally.
it's exciting. That's what I was saying.
Oh, I see. That makes perfect sense. Jiggling boobs is exciting. Anyway.
I'm really sorry.
Tree.
That is a tree. Well done, Adam.
Dead tree. And macadam sausage, or Black Lady of the Night. Anyway, so let's do this shit. After dispatching Gulag, the group rested for the evening, and Ellipsis informed them that they had been charged with collecting the 6 orbs of dragon control, which were created by Serac 600 years ago. The group also voiced their concern in the dragon's interest in such artifacts, and that, although Planchett really loved the tourist attraction of them, they would be hesitant to continue this. Whilst having discussions, the group decided that their next goal would be Menzo Baranzan, followed by Arcadia. After visiting Mirabar for horses to speed up the travel, and Ellipsis confronted Hororae about her perceived disdain to everything that Klaxis and he did for
That
their
felt
deities.
so much longer than a minute. So much longer.
Was it only a minute?
It was only a minute. He timed it when he watched
felt
it
like
back.
years.
It felt like actual years.
Much like the chastising of the church. Anyway. I have to fight for religion every now and then. It hurts.
You do steam a little bit.
Like, it's like walking on hot sand. Anyway.
Whoa. I'm walking on hot sand. Sorry.
On the road to Mirabar. The group noticed the signs of smoke and... try that again, Steve. On the road to Mirabar, noticed that we have editing... we don't have editing anymore. On the road to Mirabar, the group noticed the signs of smoke on the horizon and fleeing citizens, which turned out to be that the city of Mirabar had been closed due to a frost dragon attack that had taken the city by surprise. Resolving that the next city for horses would be Tribor, the group headed down the long road before noticing tracks in the snow of giants heading towards the hamlet of Longsaddle. Finding the villagers in combat with an Etin, the group quickly helped to slay the beast. Only to be informed that they were merely trying to subdue it. As the blacksmith stepped forward to confront the group on this, they were knocked unconscious and awoke in an underground cavern where they were briefly questioned by Solas Burntree, the apparently returning heir to the Burntree Manor. Solas left the group chained to the wall with the comment that he had a test for them. If they survived, he would speak with them again, and if they died, no skin off his back. A skeleton then burst out of the wall with a timer of 1 hour. So, my lads. You're currently chained against the wall. You're on your knees. Your arms are kind of almost like wings spread behind you. I will put some more fitting music on. So, to give you an idea of the order, left to right you have Klaxis, Hororae, Planchett and Ellipsis. There is one door out the room. Your stuff is in a pile about 10-15 feet ahead of you. What would you like to do?
Let's try and break these damn shackles.
Give me a strength check.
I
or
shall.
an athletics check, just for fairness.
12.
12. You start to pull on it. Hororae, as you feel Klaxis pulling his chain forward trying to snap it, you start to move backwards towards the door.
Fuck you.
Would you not?
Alright, calm down. From where we're at, can we see the chains going into the wall behind us?
It's too directly behind you for you to see the link on the wall.
Sorry.
However, as you're looking around, you will notice that about 15 feet to your, from where you'd be your right, sorry, because of how the room is laid out, to your right, there is a simple like peg lock mechanism where there's an end of a chain with a peg in like a little rivet.
Ooh! I have Mage Hand.
You have Mage Hand.
I have Mage Hand. Do I spot the pivot?
Klaxis knows it, you are looking.
No, I wasn't looking. Oh shit, sorry.
Don't worry, I'm wise enough to tell everyone I saw this
Oh,
project.
thank fuck for
You,
that.
yes, you then know about it then.
It's,
Because, as he points out, you...
it's like a weird back thing over there. See if anyone's got like some like some magic nonsense that could make it like not be locked.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Oh shit!
I do. Oh, okay.
Do I have to ask permission?
I would like to mage hand that.
Cool. Do you have stats for the mage hand? Does it give you anything like that?
Not on my notes.
Someone took notes that are spells, but not the important part.
No. I've got my own stats.
You got them?
I've
Yeah.
got my own stats, but I don't know if that counts.
I forgot the truffle used a button. That's what I was looking
Yes. Truffle's currently in your bag.
at. Yeah, I know. But I remembered mention of the keyword,
Keyword? Yes.
and I thought that turned him on, but it
I
doesn't.
think
It's
that turns it back off.
No stats.
off. Which is annoying because I was
Your
hoping to be
torch is on,
clever.
darling, just so you know.
Oh, gee, sorry.
Sorry, what?
No stats were given.
No stats? Cool.
But you can have mine if
No, that's fine. I'm going to go with what's casting ability? Charisma?
Is charisma plus 3.
Plus 3, cool. Make a roll plus 3, and we'll go with if that's good enough.
15.
Awesome. Just strong enough. Hand floats, you kind of start gesturing, although your hand behind you starts to do the somatic incantation for mage hand. A hand kind of fades out of your hand like the ghost fading from your being, and kind of just slowly floats over and just very carefully starts to turn the peg where it turns into sand and just drops out of the rivet, and all the chains and shackles that are on you all drop off.
Lovely.
Cool.
That's not
Is the skeleton is the Mr. Skeleton holding like a timer?
It's so it's a rock that seems to be continually etching itself to be the next minute off of an hour timer. It's currently at 58 minutes.
Sweet. I'd like to just
Can I have a little look about the room?
Yeah.
Maybe check as well, like our stuff, before I pick it up for anything untoward / anything
Well, she
missing.
said that.
That's cool. If you're both going to go to that, you can either both roll a. Let's go with a. Just a dexterity check as you slowly try to move things without upsetting things.
Oh my god, my rolls today are not good.
12.
6, lovely. You're very clumsy. Things fall out, but you notice that nothing seems to be untoward in the bags. It's just stuff. However, as you go through, Klaxis, you specifically notice this. Matthias is not in your bag anymore.
Cool. I'm gonna not tell anyone that for the moment.
That's fine. Also, could you roll 2d10 for me? Both of you.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Times by 5.
Yep.
I don't think I can do
What you got?
97.
No.
Oh, you add them together?
Yeah, add them together, sorry.
So you got 80.
6. Well, I thought you were rolling
So you got
percentile.
80. 45.
45. Minus that from your gold.
Okay, sweet.
What?
So minus what your result is times by 5 from your gold. You've been swindled. I'll allow you to do it now, Suzy, before you get your stuff.
That's
I've already done it for
9
it's
plus
2d10.
7
2d6,
times
2d10
5.
times by 5.
56 is 11. 55, that's the one.
So minus that off what you got for gold.
Sweet. Can I get my sword?
Yeah, you all pick up everything you've got. You notice that everything else is the same.
Can I take the timer from the skeleton?
As you do, the skeleton just drops to the ground.
That's one less problem.
Anything else? Anything? I don't know. I just want to have a look about the room,
Investigation
looking
check
for
for me.
anything.
Can I grab
I've
my
note.
stuff and check the door?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd like
Just listening first.
Yeah, perception for me.
So if she's still going, I'll root around the skeleton dust just to see if I can.
That's 16.
16.
16,
24.
24. Lovely.
Am I investigating?
Yeah, make an investigation for me there. The room itself is fairly undescript for you, Hororae. You look around, it's literally very smooth stone, not a lot of detail other than the door that you see that Planchett is listening at. And you look up and you see that it's conical, and as you're also investigating things, and also because someone who works with material a lot, you notice that there is some slag on the floor every now and then as you're walking around, and you get the idea that this is an old funnel for a foundry of some sort. So this is normally where the overflow of lava and such that would be in said
Great.
would drop into.
Great. I'm gonna suggest that we perhaps leave as soon as possible. I'm thinking that I'm getting an idea what might happen at the end of an hour.
I'm just checking on the door. Give me a minute.
Listening in, you can't hear anything.
Sounds empty to me. I open the door.
Opens easy.
13 in the skeleton.
13 skeleton. You don't find much. As you've placed the rock down, it starts to slowly just crumble itself as well.
Fuck's sake.
But nothing seems to be in the skeleton. Ellipsis just kind of coughs as you're all wandering around and goes, Green Orb's gone as well.
Perfect.
I think they've been looking for very specific things out of items if they have taken. Has anyone lost anything else?
I think I've just lost money. My umbrella's there. And everything.
Motherfucker! Yeah, your umbrella's there.
Yep, that's
And as he hears you say that, he checks his money card and goes, Motherfucker! I had 20 platinum! Okay, don't have 20 platinum anymore.
I don't want to be like a party pooper, but so for you two, like Matthias is gone, which is quite fun. Oh, what a shame he's gone. Fuck.
What? Am I missing
No,
something?
no, it's fine. It's like Matthias, and he's just a skull that talks. He's quite a friendly chap to have around. He's possibly gone. Well, he's definitely gone.
That's not good. I mean, I needed to ask him questions.
I mean, if we find him again, you won't be asking him anything. Right, okay. Let's worry about that in a minute. Let's keep our eyes peeled for that.
Did you hear anything to the door?
Nope, I walked through it.
Fuck. Oh, okay. So.
Lovely. I'm following you, I'm assuming you'll follow.
Right.
Yes.
Stepping through the door into the next chamber, you are greeted by a dimly lit room. The braziers seem to struggle to combat the darkness of the antechamber, and your hearts jump into your mouths for a second as you are confronted by the gaping jaws of ancient dragons, one for each colour of the chromatic races. However, relief starts to rise as you realise these are not real dragons, but statues carved out of the rock in the cavern to create entries to doors that sit at the back of the stone mouths of each dragon. In order from left to right, the heads sit as green, black, white, blue and red. A brilliant white ball of light floats down from the roof of the room, revealing the room to be the same conical shape of the last room, but with the whole sifting natural light into the room filled. The ball stopped dropping above chest level and expands into a humanoid figure of about 5 foot tall, female by the curves and proud by the stature. The most worrying feature is as the final details come to light, and each of you see standing before you a drow woman with snakes writhing from her scalp. Can I have a wisdom saving throw from everyone, please?
Yay.
Doesn't matter what.
So good.
17. Oh no, Vista. No.
14.
Oh,
15.
woo!
22.
Oh. So the DC was 14, so that was fun.
I don't know if that means I've made it or not.
Yes, you passed.
So freaking glad.
Don't worry, you get this moment of like panic and shock, and then you kind of resolve. You have this feeling of resolve inside you. However, Ellipsis just starts going, no! And just walks back into the next room. As this happens, the lady kind of, drow woman, leather robes, has snakes for hair apparently, just kind of leaves for us. So, dillweeds.
Dillweed?
Yes, dillweeds. I am Karen. I am here to oversee Solas's plan.
You say the eye.
So yeah.
No, I really couldn't.
Shame.
Oh god, this is fine. It's fine. I am.
Oh, please carry on. But you're overseeing Solas's plan.
Yeah, you have. So I'll get it out the way now, so I can get the heartache out the way. I will not be seeing you again after this room. This is normally where the test subjects die, so I don't have to worry about seeing you. It'd be lovely to see you again, because apparently I am the, as he referred to it, end of dungeon boss. Now, I'm not happy with this. I had a very good, lucrative business happening down south. Obviously, when I say down south, I mean down, and she points down into the ground rather than in a direction where south or north or west would be. She just casually starts to walk back and forth in front of all of you. And I would probably call your friend back again, because in about looks at her wrist where there's a sundial. And he goes, oh yeah, that doesn't work down here. Probably about 48 minutes. He's probably not going to be there again if he doesn't. Anywho, black door needs 2 keys. Each door has a puzzle behind it, with a key as a reward. You only need to do 2. Choose and be happy, and I will see you again if you really survive in about an hour or so's time, I'm sure.
Just before you go.
What?
I'm going to cast suggestion.
Yes, you can cast suggestion.
I cast it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck, you're immune to charm, aren't you? Oh, fuck, I can't retract that now. Right.
You cast?
I cast suggestion in my excitement.
Tell me how it works. Tell me what I do.
Suggest a rational course of activity, 1 to 2 sentences, that influences a creature that can see, that you can see, that can hear and understand you.
Mm-hmm.
So far, so good.
Yep.
Target must make a wisdom save, or be immune to charm.
You never know.
It's a drow.
I mean, I rolled it for fun because she has a magical affinity. She doesn't need that. As you're casting it in your mind, and you're trying to be really subtle about this. You get that kind of, you know that feeling where you just kind of physically hit a wall when you're running. It's kind of like that, but like just your brain function just stops for a second, and she just stops where she's walking, looks at you, and goes, "You're a twat!"
Disappears.
I can't. No. I've got.
Can you blame me?
I've got magical affinity, love. It's fine.
Are half of her like snakes on one side a bit longer? And she got like, some really small snakes around there.
Has a t-shirt on that says "I would like to see the manager."
Live, love, love.
I should have just called you.
Yoga is better with wine.
Yeah, sweet. So,
Not wrong.
like, Karen, I understand. From what I'm gathering, you're not particularly enamoured by the situation. Which door do you recommend being the most like fun?
I mean, fun for me would be the green door.
Sweet.
The other ones, just it depends how you feel, I guess.
Can I do an insight check on the green door thing?
You can indeed.
Oh, I'm rolling so badly. Let's just make sure I get this right. 9!
You look at it, and you're sure it quivers.
I went insight on her statement.
Oh!
No, I'm not looking at a door and going, are you really a door?
I mean, your character plays it a lot, so... No,
Question, yeah.
from that, you get the sense that when she says it'll be fun for her, there is... you're asking for like the easiest sort of door? Or, like,
Yes.
Yeah, that one would not be the easiest door from that roll.
Oh, that makes me believe it might be the easiest door. My character wouldn't know that, which is pretty annoying. Alright, so
Anywho,
cheers, Karen. You're
I'm
a babe.
thank you, Billy. You're lovely. So again, if I am seeing you again, it'll be lovely. I'll be upstairs.
You don't like when all this is over. You're like, sweet, agreed.
Okay. Cool. Anyway, you guys do what you need to do, and I will see you later. She just blinks out of existence, and the ball just kind of floats back up to the ceiling.
Ellipsis, get back in here if you don't want to be encaked in lava.
That sounds pretty fucking enjoyable right now.
Well,
How's she gone?
Yes.
Okay. I'm coming out now.
alright, we won't look We won't pretend that you were like scared away. That's fine. We won't mention it again.
Steps through the door.
Just for funsies, can I flip down my monocle of companion sight and try and see what Pipit's seeing? I'm afraid.
Yes, you can.
I'm afraid. I don't like your face!
Flip the lens down, and immediately you close your eyes to make it a bit easier. And you can see through his eyes. It's the first time you've actually done this properly, and it's really like disconcerting for a second. And you can see like it's like you're moving your head around to look around the room that you're not in, and you can see a forge of some sort.
Oh
And you can see like blacksmith tools lying around, and then you see the blacksmith woman just sitting sharpening some tools in the far corner, and you hear just briefly, or at least because of you being you, I say hear. You read her lips as she turns around and looks at it and goes, "Which part of you am I taking first then?"
Oh, right, sweet.
He has chains around his arms as well. Is what you saw as he looked around the room.
Cool. So like, you right?
We need to move quickly.
Sweet. Let's not go green door.
So
Oh,
what?
from the green door.
She didn't seem to think of it. She thought it'd be the most fun.
Oh,
She did.
Yeah, that's not the green door.
Most fun.
So
Cool.
got white, blue, or red?
Yeah.
Fucking France.
Huh?
Is that... So, yes. What?
White, blue, or red?
Which?
You gotta pick two, so I'll just pick one we don't want to do.
Does anybody have any?
Can I listen at the white door?
assistance?
Well,
Yeah,
let's
so this is the
go.
white door. Make a perception check for me.
Go on, then I'll go listen at the blue door.
Cool. Make a perception check for me.
I'll go to the red door.
Rolls of shit. 12. 12 white.
12 for the red door. I have
Ooh, that's 5.
5, and for the blue door,
Unnatural 20.
another 20. Lovely. So, behind the white door, you hear not a lot.
Sweet.
Behind the red door, you hear bugger all. Behind
This is my new favourite game show.
the blue door, you hear a Toyota Yaris. Da, 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 da,
Oh, I wish it was. That would make this bit of the game so much
Hororae,
easier.
come on down!
And you won a cuddly toy.
Yeah.
Because of how high you rolled, and because also it's that room, you hear like almost like a void like silence behind it. It's almost like someone has cancelled out noise behind the door.
Great.
Dun, 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 dun.
So I'm hearing an extreme absence, not just like nothing, but an extreme absence. I can't decide if that's better or worse than
Okay.
hearing something on the inside. What are you doing? What face are
Because
you
we're playing
pulling?
the Crystal Maze, it makes me so happy.
Oh no!
Looks at everyone.
Karen was mumsy all along!
I knew I didn't judge you room to this episode.
Right,
Quick question: does anybody remember what each chromatic dragon did? Like
That
red's
was
fire.
my-
So red
white-
is fire, black is acid, blue
I thought
is
green was
lightning,
acid.
green is poison,
Green is poison. White
and then
is
white
ice.
is ice.
sweet. So does anyone have any ability that's good for any of them? Cool. Sweet.
Nothing.
No, it's not there.
I've got. I can fire.
Look, we have like 45 minutes.
I mean,
Fucking pick a door.
I think we just go through and see what's behind there because it might just be coinkydink.
True.
We don't go through on our own though.
No, we go in as a group.
Good.
Actually, whilst I'm there, blue door, you notice a label on the door or a little plaque that says 1 Macenta.
Great.
Let's not
Really
do
is
that
the fucking crystal maze.
Let's do red door.
Any notes on any of the other doors? Can I
nope.
check?
No, nothing on the other doors that you can see.
Why-
The green door,
okay.
if anyone wants to go look at the green door,
Oh yeah, fuck it, yeah, why not?
you go look at the green door. Are you listening to the green
Yeah.
door?
13.
Cool. 10 seconds.
Oh, I don't like it when you
13. You hear like, you don't know if it's your hearing or if it's something else, but you hear like the sound of blood pumping.
Sweet.
And I am going to ask you a simple question.
No, you can't.
I can't.
The answer is no.
I mean, I'm going to ask it anyway.
Fuck you, Steve.
We don't get to use this thing a lot, so I'm going to quickly...
Can I retroactively check for traps?
No, but you can tell me, Adam or Klaxis, whichever prefers. Boop. Could you tell me, darling?
Mm-hmm. Oh, is it another fucking like tell the truth one?
Nope. It's
That's
not
good.
It's going to be a, what is your dex? It's now 3.
So this thing works like this. So
it's like a catapult, but it's like a trebuchet. I'm thrown 500 meters.
Alright, that's a bit better than that.
I hate the way I've arranged my pages because I stopped pivot just there, and so now I'm just looking at it longingly.
cool. It doesn't even need to do anything. You place your ear against the door, and then you go to pull it back, and it feels like someone's trying to rip your beard off from the side of your head. And the door starts to grow eyes at the top of the door. I don't get to use mimics a lot, so I'm doing it. I let you all.
It could have been me.
I let you all roll initiative.
I am distracted. That's where I am.
Ah,
I'm gonna go
rolling classic.
like this sort of thing for the doors.
I'm just seeing lots of W's.
Or
So, where was the order? So the green one was over here. So we'll have Master Klaxis.
Green, black,
Was it-
white, blue, red.
Yes. So I had who was at colour?
I was at the blue
So
one.
you're at red, and you're at the blue, which puts
Which
you
is next to the red one.
red like that. And then Ellipsis is going to be standing over here, like so, looking righty fine.
Cool. So let's get some initiative down, please. Can I have for first Klaxis
14.
14, Hororae,
6.
Oh, 5.
Suzy,
8.
But often scared of you, let me down.
I'm really worried about pivot.
15 for Ellipsis. Lovely.
She's distracted.
So. Nope. I'm gonna go with it gets a surprise round.
Does it?
It is attached to your beard right now.
It's
know it
literally
is.
attached to your face.
I love it if it's in like 3 inches wide. It's like,
So it is going to try and attack you, Master Klaxis, with advantage.
I was going to say, I imagine it would be reasonably successful.
You'd think that, wouldn't you? Does a 10 hit?
it does not.
Cool. So I'm going to go with all of you see this, just to give a sense of alarm. But the door grows eyes as Klaxis complains that he's trying to pull away from it. I can't. And then the door kind of turns into teeth and tries to gnatch around him. But unfortunately, just manages to let go of you. You're currently stood in front of it, but no longer grappled by it.
Yes, sweet.
Lovely. That is his turn. That brings us to the top of the round with Lithith, who is going to just... Yeah, that'll be fun. He's going to... Can he do that? Is that how that works? I can never remember how that spell works. No, it's a touch. Cool. So, he has to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Can't get that. It doesn't matter. Awesome. He's just going to be there, and it'll be fun. Wait a minute. Yes. Casts a bonus action to spread his wings, and gets a flight speed of what's his flight speed? Fucking wings. Where has he gone? There it is. 30 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And casts heroism on you, Klaxis. So, just so you're aware, I believe, willing creature is touched, viewed with bravery. Until the spell ends, the creature is immune to being frightened and gains temporary hit points equal to the spellcasting ability modifier at the start of each of its turns. So, yes, when it comes to your turn in a minute after this, you will get +4 temporary hit points. I think that's it. Spell casting modifier, yes. So +4 temporary hit points, and that is Ellipsis' go. Actually, no, it takes 5 feet to move back, so you have space to move.
And that is him. We bring it to you, Klaxis.
Alright, sweet, that's nice.
What would you like to do?
You currently have a door trying to eat you in front of you. Ellipsis has just touched you on the back and gone, go for it, buddy. And then move back.
The urge to knock is so strong. I'm gonna aim for one of his eye stalks.
Go for it. Roll for attack.
Natural 20.
Lovely. Roll damage.
So that is 11 slashing.
11 slashing.
Oh no, 13 slashing.
13 slashing.
And then 3 points of lightning
3 points of lightning.
and 1 point of radiant.
1 point of radiant. Lovely. Just make sure remember that all dice are
All dice are double.
double on a critical hit.
So
So
that's
that was 6 lightning and 2
Yeah.
of the last
So another
one.
4 off. Lovely. So you just bring your blade out, scraping it across your hand, and as you do, then just cutting up, shaking off a chunk of the door almost. As you notice that the door isn't actually made of wood; it's made of some amorphous kind of material that slowly starts to shift and change in front of you. However, your blade cuts off a huge chunk of the side of it. Anything else for you?
if you've hurt my beard, I will end you. That's it.
Lovely. That brings us to the mimic, who is going to try and bite you again.
That is a 17 to hit.
Misses, thank you,
Awesome.
shield.
So again, he just lunges down, trying to bite into you, and you just bat it away with your shield. It kind of looks like you've knocked a tooth out almost.
Badge.
That brings us to Suzy Planchett.
Hi. Yeah.
Currently, you're down the end, and you can hear all this happening. You turn around and see that currently Klaxis is fighting the green door.
What? I'd like to move maybe 20 feet towards, preferably with a nice line
5,
of
10,
sight.
15, 20. If you're going to a line of sight, I'd go 5, 10, 15, 20. Like that. That gets you a decent amount of sight on it, yes?
Yeah, I'd like to pot shot with a fireball, please. Or firebolt.
I was going to say, fireball is a very
Yeah.
different.
I really
Kettle
need
of
to
fish.
remember which
Everyone
one
would
it is.
die.
Ellipsis and Klaxis are no longer on board because they're just gone. Poof. Anyway, cool. Go for it. Roll for it as a range attack.
Yes,
Awesome, go for
that is...
If it's cocked, roll again.
Oh, that's 12, isn't it?
That's
Yeah, sorry,
12.
yeah. My angle looked weird.
Yes, that is 12 plus... Okay. 12 plus 6 is 18.
That hits. Roll for damage.
Yeah! That is 8 fiery damage.
8 fire damage, lovely. As you bring your hand up, and rather than getting the disturbance, it looks kind of like you're pushing some sort of invisible ball through space. You are now pushing a ball of fire that just launches over and just starts to singe the front of the door. You notice that no burning hair smell comes, so your beard is fine.
You're welcome.
Anything else for you?
I'm good.
Lovely. Hororae.
I would also like to try and get a reasonable line of sight because I would like to shoot at it with my crossbow.
Okay, what's your speed?
30.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We'll get you there, and that will
Yep.
give you another line as well, yeah.
Yay!
Go for it, roll for attack.
Definitely. 9.
9 misses. Unfortunately, it just goes sailing over and clatters through the nostril. It's a really impressive trick shot. You go through the nostril of the dragon head that is surrounding the door, but unfortunately misses the mimic itself. Brings us
Distracted.
back to the top of the round with Ellipsis, who is gonna just kind of go, You got it, buddy! Yeah! Woo! And continues her heroism on you, Klaxis, and just stays there, the wings just floating in the background. Klaxis.
If I am a good angel and ask for one. I will continue to slicey at the eyes.
Go for it. Roll for attack.
Does not bode well.
Does not bode well.
12?
Just hits.
Oh, fuck it, God.
Roll for damage, love.
7 plus 14.
14, lovely.
14 slashing.
14, oof.
1, 2, 4. 4 points of lightning damage.
4 points of lightning damage.
And 4 points of radiant.
Ooh! Lovely. So you again just sweep through as the door starts to fold down almost. It starts to look like it's starting to charge up, and as it's coming into its turn, if there's anything else for you quickly, sorry.
No.
No, cool. As it kind of charges up, it starts to drop down into like a more of a ball-like shape. It starts to spin a bit like Maniac from Small Soldiers, for a reference, which is 90s, not 80s.
Well done, Steve.
I only know it because Dennis Leary was in there, and I liked him as a comedian. Anyway,
Stop.
1998.
Anyway, it starts to whir in this kind of weird ball. You just kind of place your blade in, and you hear it screeching with pain as the blade just cuts away as it spins and cuts itself almost.
It's like a potter's wheel.
Yes. Which is hilarious when the angel behind you. I don't know any Texas! That brings us to the mimic, who stops spinning for a moment and looks up at you. Now it's just kind of like, it's turned into this weird kind of, looks a bit like a bird that has been made out of oak, and is just kind of stood floating flying in midair in front of you, just giving you the biggest evils it can. One eye is currently slashed and has no sight out of it. It is going to try to bite you one more time. 15 to hit misses.
Fuck yeah, it does.
Lovely. That brings us to Suzy Planchett.
Bonk.
Roll for attack.
Thank you. That is.
For the podcast, she meant cast Firebolt again.
Thank you. That is 15.
Lovely. Roll for damage.
Ooh, 2. Fire.
You go to throw the ball this time, but you kind of get stage fright, and it's a bit like, you know, when the lighter catches and nearly sets fire, and you just get a little like spurt of flame that kind of floats over very kind of whimsically, and just yeah, gets singed.
Oh, like a
rather
pop
than
rock massage.
Anyway, that brings us to Hororae.
I'm gonna try and shoot at it with my
Roll
crossbow again. That's less miserable. 23.
Yeah.
So if he hits, roll for damage.
That'd be amazing. No.
10 of the piercing.
10, lovely. How do I do this?
Yes. Just like, I don't know, slice it right through. Yeah.
Lovely. You getting annoyed at the fact that you've just got quite an impressive shot, but not on the thing you wanted.
Yeah.
Kind of readjust. You spend the round waiting for the next thing, next time to shoot as you reload, calibrating the shot properly, and you realise that there is just a little bit of wood stuck just in the loading mechanism. So you remove it, release, and the blade just the bolt just goes flinging off directly through the mouth of this wooden bird creature. It just splits in two and lands on the floor in that kind of like weird, like cluttering fashion of a plate as it just rolls around a couple of times, building up energy. And that is the round.
Woo!
Ellipsis puts his wings away.
Are there any bolts that I'm able to retrieve?
You get half of your bolts back from battle, so you get one back.
Can I search looking for like a key or anything?
Yeah.
Looking for a key, there is no key, unfortunately.
Is there a green door?
There is no door, it's just a wall.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
She's a bit of a
What
dick,
a
isn't she?
She said it'd be fun for her!
I mean, like, you don't change the rules of the game halfway through. You said behind each door would be a key. I mean,
She just didn't say
But
what.
it wasn't technically
Actually,
a
make
door.
a perception check.
17.
Lovely. Behind it, you see etched into the stone,
Aw.
red equals fire, blue equals lightning.
Alright, so it's a key. Right, sweet, it's fine.
I really want to throw something at you.
It was better than having a drawing of a key.
Sweet, so, cool. So, let's just never speak of this again.
Okay.
And my beard will go back happily.
Your beard's fine by the look of
It's
it.
a little bit heavy. To you it seems fine, but it feels
Right,
wrong.
time
Alright.
is ticking. Which door do we want to go for?
Well, we know
Pick
more about
one.
the blue one. The blue one.
I mean, ish.
It says one goes in.
And you really think that sending one person in is a good
Well, it doesn't
move?
say that one.
Right, if we're
can't
not
have
saying
friends
blue,
that-
black is not an option, so we could go with white or red. Jesus, let's just get on with this if we've got less than an hour.
Go on then, let's go for the closest one. White.
Cool, we'll go through white. Lovely.
Classic scary.
As you step through the door, you find a small parapet that overlooks a crevasse that drops down a good 60 feet. At the bottom of this are 10-foot tall spikes of ice. A boat sits below, balanced on top of several of the spikes. Dotted across the 50-foot wide crevasse are 5 large metal rods ascending in height order the further across they go across the cavern, each with a large metal disc on top. The furthest of which is being hit by a shaft of light that is piercing through a hole in the ceiling, reflecting off onto the next disc down. On the other side of the crevasse, you see a podium in the middle of another parapet.
Can you see the key?
You've all walked in. So you
Can I have a look to see if I can spot the key?
cool. Go for a perception check.
No.
No, you can't then.
We're all looking for the key.
If you're all looking for the key,
Yeah,
everyone make a
4.
perception.
That is a 4.
14.
Yep.
14.
So sorry, I'm
14.
Distracted.
14.
We get it. Right.
That's fine. That's fine.
No.
14, and yeah, it's fine.
and shit.
Looking around, you can't see any key on the parapet that you're on. You can't see any in the immediate vicinity of the drop below you. However, the little podium in the middle of the other parapet on the other side of the room possibly might have a key on it.
Does it have a little bamboo tube that's rolled down towards us?
It doesn't, okay? Look, I sat last night at 1 in the morning going, I need something that's simple but interesting. And
So
Could you re-explain the...
That's
yeah,
fine.
sorry, I'm
So,
really lost.
you are currently on a small parapet
Yeah.
that overlooks a crevasse that drops down a good 60 feet.
Yeah.
60? Yep.
At
With
the
spiky
bottom
spikes,
of
spikes,
these are 10-foot tall spikes of ice. A boat sits below, balanced on top of several of the spikes. Dotted across the 50-foot wide crevasse are 5 large metal rods that ascend in height the further across the cavern they go, each with a large metal disc on top.
Mm-hmm.
The furthest and tallest pole with a disc on top is being hit by a shaft of light that is piercing through a hole in the ceiling, reflecting off to the next disc or down that chain.
So,
Looks to me like keep the light bouncing.
yeah.
From the top.
Can I see anything that we might need to direct the light towards?
I'm guessing it's the podium.
But if the
There's-
if the light's on the far podium already,
Oh, right, sweet.
There is nothing else in the room that you can spot.
Let's just get it to the closest disc for now.
how big do these discs look?
About 10-15 foot wide.
Okay. And okay,
So they're too big and heavy for me.
how far is the distance between the edge of the thing that we're stood on and the first one?
It's about 10 feet.
Okay.
Like, who's the lightest person?
Oh.
Because we can lower them down onto that red boat. And then they can make their way across.
8.5 stone
Okay, and in
In
normal?
pounds.
in pounds. I have no idea. I don't work in pounds.
You just said 8.5 stone.
Yeah, but I work in stone, not pounds. Don't ask.
The game works in pounds, so I do know.
If you have a simple device known as a phone, you can Google the
£102
There we
is
go.
8 stone.
So there's a boat balanced on the spikes. There
Okay.
not anything like it's balanced on spikes. There isn't anything for it to move on.
Can I summon the mage hand
Yep.
again? And can I go to the nearest one and just give it a gentle, wiggle?
the disc.
Yeah.
Yep. It seems to be on some sort of mechanism that allows it to move. A bit like your small mirrors in bathrooms, which are on like a little stand. It's a bit like that.
Okay. How far is each?
10 foot from each one.
10 foot from each one. So that is
Thank you for the diagram. That's really
Thank you.
helpful.
So I got 10 foot to this one. So that's and then that's plus 10. So that's 10, 10, 10, 10. Shut up. 10. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I can move the first two with my mage hand, but after that we're on our own.
Anyone got a crossbow?
Yes,
Don't try hitting one.
I can try.
Cool. Which one do you try to hit?
I'll try to hit the furthest one because we can't.
But the furthest one's already been Done.
The one that is furthest away that we need to
Sweet,
move. Let me
Thank you.
clarify that.
Thank you for
The
specifying.
one that
roll
needs
a
moving.
roll a attack.
I do not have hope.
Just remember, I've got a crossbow.
Do I have a crossbow, actually? I think I do.
22.
22, awesome. You fire off, the bolt hits it, knocks the disc, and you notice that the light immediately refracts off it onto the next disc down.
Okay.
That looks fucking
So
easy.
we've got that one and that one.
Okay.
And that.
Yes,
look,
it's,
there's
it's
5.
now hitting the third one.
So now we've
fantastic.
got just the 2 that need moving.
Which you can do.
Go move.
I like to move
Cool.
things. Thank you.
Cool. So you go along with the mage hand and move each of them.
He's smiling. I still don't like it.
No, it's fine. It's just, it was so interesting to see how you took this. You go and move
Still
each of
gotta
them. You wait until it hits the last light. How do you move the last one, is my question, because currently there is nothing for it to aim at.
First, I'd like to aim it to the boat.
Cool. You start to notice the boat catching fire.
I aim it off the boat very quickly, hoping for the best.
Aim it for the spikes.
Cool.
Aim it for the spikes. Melt the spikes, and then we can sail across in the boat to get the key.
Good point. I aim it for the spikes.
Awesome. You aim for the spikes. There's a couple of minutes as you watch the ice quite quickly melt somehow as the water slowly rises. However, because you've just burned a hole through the boat, the boat stays at the bottom of the water.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Like, how deep's the water now? Like, from
It's about 60 foot.
I have
drop.
woodworker's tools. If we lower me down,
Mate,
can I
fuck
repair
it. Can I? There was nothing I could see at the bottom of this box.
No, it's just spikes.
Bag off. Sword, shield down. You fucking twat. Jump.
If you're swimming over, just give me a quick athletics check.
swim. That is not why am I rolling so bad today.
I mean, it's a low DC, don't worry.
Oh, it's 11.
11, awesome. You swim over quite easily, although the water's not got any sort of aid to buoyancy. It's still quite easy to swim through, and you get over to the other side. You clamber up onto the side, pick up the key from the podium, swim back.
Fucking pranks. I'm gonna climb back out and go, there's the key, don't burn the hole in it. Thank you for melting the water, that was fucking chilly. Crack. Sword, shield, bag.
Let's go back out.
You step back out into the area.
Dare I say we go and put that in the door first?
I'm happy with that.
Because I'm concerned about what might happen if we lose.
I suggest we put it in. And also, can I suggest we go in the red door, because I'm quite cold now. I'd appreciate the warmth.
That's fair, I think.
Yes, let's do that.
So,
Cool. So you're placing the first key in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. You place the key in. Doesn't seem to happen. You just turn it and locks. However, the door doesn't budge because there's still a second lock on it.
Okay.
Lovely. You go into the red door.
Yeah.
Stepping into the red room, you find a simple 30-foot by 40-foot room. Don't giggle, please, it helps. With sconces on the left and right walls that light as you enter. A third light erupts as the door closes behind you as a wall of flame bursts from the floor along the wall blocking the door.
Behind us.
You are now dry.
Fucking sweet.
On the far wall are 7 carved out shelves in the wall below a stone mural of a fighter in the midst of battle. In the centre of the room is a table with 2 tinder boxes, 11 candles, and a key on.
Right?
So, what?
Sorry. 7. So there's 7 little alcoves that have been carved into the wall,
Right.
which seems to be some sort of like little plaque holders.
Mm-hmm.
There is a mural of a fighter in the midst of battle above it, and there are 11 candles and 2 tinder boxes on the table in the middle of the room.
Can I open the tinder boxes and see what's inside?
Yeah, just a simple tinder box looks be used rather than matches or anything like that. You can start a fire, or you can use them to, say, light a candle.
Is there anything in the alcoves currently? I
No,
can see?
nothing in them.
Anything funky about the candles?
No, they're all just pale white candles that you can see.
Go on.
Can I look at the mural and do I know anything about it
Roll
historically?
a history check.
Well, what's happening? Can I have a look at the key?
Yeah, you look at the
Do you want
key.
to pick it up? I want to look at the key.
Oh.
The key is also a mirror!
It's
Everything.
a beholder!
15!
15, because, also because it means that I can kind of point you through a line at this point. You recognise this as an old fighter of old.
His
As
name?
opposed to a
Young fighter evolved.
old fighter of new.
Oh, don't worry. His name was Richard of York.
Here's where you're testing real Kyra's history.
Yeah.
He had 10,000 men?
What?
That's not to stop there.
Do you know, when I wrote these puzzles, I was like, they're really fucking simple. I've like literally given the answer in the description, it'll be fine. What the fuck?
Did you just do Grand Old Duke of York?
I love that one.
This is why I don't do puzzles.
Right,
This
sweet.
is why we just find the beholder and we get out.
I mean, I couldn't even do that one time.
Natural 20 on the key.
Key. It's a key.
Is it attached to anything? I mean,
No,
is it
just on the table.
Sweet.
Very relaxed.
Um,
So we just need to.
It hasn't
Get
jumped
rid of
yet.
Are the candles one colour?
They're all white.
That's fine. What do you think?
Or the wax of it are all white.
Oh, I see.
So we've got 11 candles, 7 Scott things.
Let's light the candles, see what colour the flames are, and go from there.
Cool. So you see as you light all 11 of them.
Oh no.
You see black, blue, brown, gold, green, indigo, orange.
I'm
pink,
going to suggest
red,
we place them
violet,
in the wall
white.
in the order of a rainbow.
Oh my god, like Richard of York gave
Oh,
back in
yeah.
vain?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Really? Really? It took that long?
Matthias is clear that. Matthias is clear.
I haven't done it
The
yet.
pen is
They're
blue.
up there.
The pen is blue.
Like, the second Richard of York was said, I was like, okay, cool. Seven, but yeah, makes sense.
I mean, I've never heard that used to
Richard of
remember
York is better
colours.
than
but
Yeah, I
no.
could have
Cool.
remember it.
So to save us some time,
But yes,
podcast,
we do
and
that.
To save us some time,
Sure, everyone apart from Kyra does that. Kyra goes sit in the corner and think about her life choices.
you place the candles from left to right in red, orange,
Yellow,
yellow, green,
indigo,
oh god, Richard of York.
Virgo.
Alright, I'm currently trying to keep my brain from working as you steal my brain cells.
Green indigo, violet.
Thank you.
Just imagining John Virgo sat in the thing going, why have you lit me?
That's a bad mix.
Cool.
It'd be more interesting if it was Steve Davis.
Once you put it in, do things happen?
The flames go out,
Thank.
Oh my god, we can leave!
the door is free,
I take the key.
you take the key.
Let's.
Oh, I'm sorry, were these too fucking simple for all of you?
Apparently not. Apparently they weren't.
Apparently not.
She thought it was the Grand Duke of York, and she broke the boat. Fuck me,
I mean,
Karen would have been
not
better.
Well, I tried to get the answer out of her, but she.
And you tried suggestion on a drown.
Yeah.
I thought I had a headache before this. I'm starting to get hungry.
Right, so
Right, let's just take a fraction of a breath before we unlock this door, because we've already been told that we're going to have to fight Karen.
what I'm saying is, does anyone want to go on the blue room and just have a look?
No!
I want to have a very quick moment
No, do not.
where I use my umbrella to regain a spell slot, please.
Okay.
And then cast Mage Armor upon myself,
Okay.
because I'm chicken shit.
Awesome. You do that.
I do.
Awesome.
I put the second key in the lock.
You put the second key in the lock, you unlock the door, it opens, there is a corridor stretching out ahead of you.
Come on down.
Shall I go? Right, sweet, I'll go first. Thanks,
Yeah.
chaps.
Cool.
Is it light in the corridor? Or
It's pitch black.
right, sweet. Someone else go first. Let's just touch your sword or something.
I got told not to do that in front of people.
I can go first.
3 dots. Going
Or
sword.
dare I say I can?
Well, it's just like, like.
I'll just touch the
I
sword.
can't see anyway, so.
Yep, sword.
Cool. He touches the sword and goes, do you want me to go first as like a beacon, or do you want me to come behind so you've got some sort of like light shining in the darkness? I don't...
Sounds
There's
quite
a light.
Get thee behind me, 3 dots.
Well, you never ask.
Get thee behind me, Karen.
Cool, so marching order, we've got
Go on,
So
who's going?
you're at the front, and then you said you want ellipsis behind you.
Oh yeah.
Then I'll go next.
Cool.
I'll
and
bring up the
then
rear.
You'll bring up the rear. Cool. So you follow the corridor down for about 80 feet. That then leads to a man-made 20 foot by 20 foot room with a 6 foot tall and 5 foot wide crack in the wall opposite you, acting as the only other exit. Sunlight filters through the crack and seems to be trickling from up above in the open gorge that is the next room along if you were to step through that hole. However, you can't see any flooring, so nobody would step through. Simple stairwell leading up the side of the rock face opposite sits in the distance.
Is there anything in the 20 by 20 room I can see, like on the floor or anything?
Nothing at all. It's a bare room.
It's a bit of room.
Bare room.
How much floor isn't there?
It is about 30 foot wide, the gorge.
Sweet. So someone should have taken fucking jump now, shouldn't they?
If only I hadn't used my wings earlier. Damn it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Someone. The only person who knew. Sweet.
Yes, because Ellipsis has been in this cabin before.
I meant Stephen.
Yeah, because I don't metagaming like you pricks.
So
Occasionally.
It was an accident.
sorry. Can you go again for that?
Cool. 20 foot by 20 foot room.
Yep.
Yes, there is a simple 6 foot tall and 5 foot wide crack in the wall on the opposite side.
Yep.
That is the only exit to the room. There's nothing else in the room. As you step to the edge of this crack, you can see a gorge of about 30 feet wide. It just stretches off into the distance either side, and sunlight is shining from above. About 30 feet on the other side, where the rock wall is, you can see a simple staircase.
Okay.
Can we tell how?
So 30 feet between us.
You can't, it just goes off to darkness.
Sweet. So,
Uh,
is there anything in the room you want to tie rope to?
Nope.
Right.
Other than each other.
Don't really want to do that. Can I do an experiment?
Yep.
I get out my crossbow. I know I have one, right? I was going to fire it, like, go corner to corner, so it's about 30 foot, and just fire it into the corner and see how deep it goes into the wall. And
Sorry,
so I'm going to stand in one corner and fire
of
it.
the room.
Yeah.
And then fire it into the other corner.
Yeah, just to see how deep that bolt penetrates the wall.
It kind of skitters off as it's a stone wall.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've got this wand.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, please no, Planchett, because I know what's going to happen.
No metagaming, Steve.
Yeah, Steve can't say that.
Sorry.
You heard nothing. What
Sorry.
wand?
The deity said nothing in your ear. Levistus tunes are going, fuck off, don't do it.
What wand?
What? I said what?
It's the wand of wonder.
The wand of wonder. What
Which
does
I-
that do?
Did you attune to it? Because you never said you were attuned to it.
Yes, I did.
Oh, yes, you did, because that's where you got the thing. Excuse me, I may.
I just took your notes right because I'm a dick. Don't nod. I'm meant to be on my side.
We all nodded.
Like, even the people at home know.
And that's why I says we are on your side.
Doopy-doopy-doo.
What hurts the most is my dad nodded.
I mean, if I'm attuned to it, I'd know that. Oh, I can fill the room with butterflies. Aww.
You sure you don't want Steve to know again?
Use great for target for choice. Passive shimmering light. I can make a rainbow. Tongues.
I mean, you've got to roll for it first.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying what I could
I mean,
do.
you could have used the rainbow earlier so you could know which order the colours were in.
Fuck you! I would go back and make the same decision I did last time. Yeah, I don't think I can use that for anything. I don't think it's
Right,
sensible
sweet.
unless I really, really want to try for butterflies.
You do what you want to do,
I
sweetheart.
don't think Planchett is in the mood.
What's anyone got that could help?
Pretty.
Is there anything from any of the previous rooms that we've been in that I can recall that would be helpful?
No.
Okay, so.
Part of me wants to go and smash up the boat.
I mean, you're more than welcome to go.
Do we know what time it is, or are we just guess.
You would say because of the distance and stuff like that, it's been about half an hour. Actually, no, I'd say a full hour has gone since, because you've gone into different rooms, you've had the fight with the mimic, and you've also travelled down this corridor. And then you've had this discussion here. So I'd go about an hour's passed altogether.
Sweet, so...
Oh shit.
I'm trying to
It's a
remember
shame I
what
can't
that
marry people,
is.
but
What have you got? I was chatting to Scary.
Just to make sure that's cool.
Aha! Not very not great, but not awful. I have a hammer and 10 pitons.
oh,
Can I try hammering one into? So we're here, cavern, and that's where we need to get to, into the wall on this side.
The wall. So just
So,
on the
so,
inside
so
the
with
crack,
the idea being that if this works, tie a rope around me, pitons in the wall to climb across,
I would like to
and
cast
string a rope.
guidance upon her.
But you'd just be continually following a wall along because
It's not...
the crevasse. So to give you an idea, the crevasse
Yeah,
is.
I'm clearly misunderstanding. Sorry.
Ah. Oh, okay.
Oh, so there's no. Oh, sorry. I thought there was a wall on this side. Right.
So the room that you're in is currently
Right, never
back
mind.
That way, sorry.
I apologize because you said oh right, yeah, sorry. I thought that you meant it was a room, and there were still walls, but there was like a massive expanse here.
You could still
Okay.
give that a go, but you go up rather than across. And then you jump with
But
a rope attached to
You want to go first?
you. No. My the other option is you do that, but you lower them down and they kick off the wall up. It's quite a way to kick while you're swinging.
Yeah. I'm not sold on it.
I mean, I can give you a little bit of a boost
See
if
what?
anybody wants to do anything. I have a thing called guidance.
Can you make yourself tiny?
Maybe with the wand, but it's a little bit
How's
hit and
Tommy's
miss.
mage hand?
can hold 30 pounds from running.
You don't make yourself tiny and then can like mage
You
hand
have
yourself
to be a
across.
halfling for
Yeah.
the story.
Damn it!
Sorry.
Could you use mage hand to take one end of a hempen rope over to the other side and tie it to something?
Yeah.
I can try tying it to something. Can I see anything to tie it to?
There's just rock wall.
Could.
Is
And
there like
stairs.
a crevice I can like wedge a?
It's not
It's just
safely enough.
sheer rock wall. There's
Oh.
nothing that
And
lets.
are the stairs cut into the rock?
Yes.
Twat.
Does anybody do like gust of wind or anything? So if you jump out, hit it with gust of wind, you might make the stairs.
No.
Hey, 3 dots, how are those wings doing for you?
I'm going to need about 24 hours.
Hey, 3 dots, you suck.
Perfect. Perfect.
I mean, I could probably make this easier for us all. Obviously, none of you are religious.
Hey, not but anything, no.
Yeah, we've gone over this.
Familiar with the phrase "leap of faith"?
Oh.
He walks.
Oh, you fucker.
He walks
You
up.
fucker. You fucker. Fuck you. What's worse is I even went, oh, this sounds really familiar. No, it's not that. No, because we've noticed. No. Oh, you twat bastard. Go on, just do it.
So Ellipsis just goes over to the floor, just picks up some dirt, and just walks over to the opening and throws it forward. And it, although it drops down into the gorge, either side there is a 5-foot panel of stone that seems to be just perfectly lined up.
Has it been
So-
painted in a certain way so that you can't get to? I mean, you
As the camera pans,
yeah.
Indiana Jones.
Fuck you. I even was there going, this sounds. Oh.
You're the Scotch one. You must have faith, my child.
Fuck you.
Can't believe what you did.
Oh, how rude. Oh, so rude. Oh, you bitch.
I'm sorry, internet. They're being so wild to see what's going on. I tried to give them nice puzzles.
You did give us nice puzzles. That's the problem.
I appreciate
We're not used to you being nice.
You didn't go in the blue door.
No.
I'll talk to you guys in the break about that.
Oh, shit.
Okay, because we're coming up to that there break there, I'm going to do a bit of reading.
Oi.
So you cross this gangway, which is totally not trademarked by Spielberg. So there.
I'm telling him.
Stephen used your thing. Not happy. It's almost as bad when you try to make Shia LaBeouf the new Indiana Jones. He's definitely more of a serial killer.
My
Anyway,
notes literally say, gangway over it, fucking Indiana Jones.
watch The Last Crusade if you haven't seen that one. And we didn't do any of the other Grail challenges because that would have been too much of a giveaway. So you guys crossed.
Yeah.
You walk up the stairs, it's good. Look, visual. Anyway, and you arrive at a small kind of like semicircle room where there is, and I forgot I'd put this in because it's in my mind and not my notepad, but I needed to put this in because we were giggling about this morning. There is a simple double door, quite nice red oak wood, and just to the side of it is a small blue man with white hair at a table holding several vials, and as you walk up the stairs and into the chamber, he goes, "Oh, hello! You are at the sorry," and he pulls a wire that's just next to the table, and a banner drops down and says in very crude common, "Buffalo's Potion Shop." Sorry, you guys have made it this far.
Yes.
Hey, I've had to deal with this shit for the past 40 minutes. Don't give me. Oh, he's got Buffalo in. That fan favourite that you all secretly love, but you're just all going, "Oh no, we don't like Buffalo. Can't have Buffalo. No. It's almost as bad as, that other great character he made, Kyra. Mercury is amazing. Anyway.
Fuck Mercury.
I mean, I would if he wasn't dead.
Antagonize him.
It's fine. Buffalo is currently sat for you three in front of the thing with a couple of vials in front of him, and he goes, "So, you have made it to the bossy room. Normally there is a save function, but we don't have any of those in the dungeon, so I've just got potions. 10 gold a potion.
Like, how the fuck did you get here?
What kind do you have?
Buffalo's special potion.
What do they do?
What she said.
It's a healing potion.
What
Is
else does it do?
Insight.
Just heal. Roll insight.
Yeah, I'm rolling insight as well.
Roll insight.
There you go. I have got...
Unnatural 20.
And then I'm going to pull out the thing that is on Buffalo's actual character sheet that's not mine. It's D&D's because he's not my character, I just made him more.
16.
Due to his insanity feat, you can't roll insight on him, so you don't know if he's telling the truth or not. I just did it for fun.
Right, sweet. So... Oh my god, it's so in character, but I would hate him so much. Right, fucking bargain, mate. Like, sweet.
I have 4, Ricky, if anyone
I've already got 2 health potions on me because I
Same.
plan
Me
ahead.
too.
Right, sweet.
I'm a paladin, so...
Should we skip? I mean, great. Well done, you. Corner boy.
So you do it every time? Can you
I've
get, like,
never
different
really
notes?
healed anyone because normally I'm with adept fighters, but we'll see what happens in the next room.
Like, fuck it. Should we just get like one? Should we just get one?
I mean...
I can do a heal for you if you like 2.
What's the deal, mate?
I'll give you the other one for 5 gold.
Let's get a deal and more of that.
Let's take them and
Sweet.
see what happens.
I agree. Great fun.
I mean, save them,
Hey.
and I'll maybe check them out later.
Sounds like
Nah, it seems like a lot of effort. You genuinely scare me, so I'm gonna say it. We'll save them.
Sorry, would you like to buy?
Right.
Do you have change or do I have to break a 5 because
I've got change.
I've been making these paper things. He brings out a load of parchment and throws them onto the table and goes, "This one's a 5, it's worth 12 gold, and this one's a 10, and it's worth about 2 gold, and this one's a 20, and it's got Piers Morgan on it, which is disgusting."
I just throw 15 gold on the table and ignore
As
the
do
pop
I.
culture references.
So each of you receive 2 of Buffalo's healing potions. I will save it for you to do your identify on to see what they do.
That's
You're
my
not
plan.
sure until you take them what happens.
I I'm going to assume that I won't do that right now, but I will do that later.
Anyway.
Can I give one a sniff?
Yeah, you uncork it, sniff it. It smells of aniseed, which is not what normal healing potions smell. They normally smell of raspberry.
I'm fairly sure this is just absinthe.
No, that's my other potion. I call it Buffalo's Sunday Plan.
Alright, cheers. Question again. Like, what's through that door?
That will be the boss chamber. Sorry, excuse me, this is really hard to... That's better, excuse me. Essentially that is the boss chamber.
Right.
Yes, just because you three haven't met him yet. He just snapped his jaw out of place and his voice has become good. So there's the boss chamber, that's where Karen is sitting. There's not a lot in there, but however it is the only way out of here unless you have any mountaineering gear to climb up the gorge there.
Right, so if you don't...
That's fine. It's been a long day down here too. The heat is abysmal this time of year. It's surprising, it's winter, but who knows?
Do you know of any of her weaknesses?
Any of her weaknesses?
Yeah.
I haven't fought her. I've never met her. I just know that she's in there because there was an angry Medusa-like lady who kept shouting, "My name is Karen," who kept walking out whenever there should have been a boss fight, but essentially the test subjects that go down and points down the other way, down to where you can see the little crack in the wall. The test subjects, you can also see just the bridge now. But test subjects never really get from down there. They're normally dead because of the blue door.
I told you we were right not to go through the blue door.
That is fair.
I mean, you can go in the blue door and survive. It's just really fun. It's like a cheap high.
That sounds dangerous.
I'll be like 5 minutes.
I don't think you should go.
No, not to be rude, but essentially you need to be able to hold your breath for a very long time to go in there. It's an air trick, you see. Every time you breathe in the room, you get a shot of pain through your lungs, and then you are transported back to the door. It's hilarious fun to do on a weekend after Bupado's Sunday Plan. If you would like to buy some of that next time I'm in town, I'll have some procured.
We're okay.
Okay.
But thank you.
Awesome.
Right, so I just nod. And I'm just knocking the door in.
Fine. If we're finished business here, we're all finished.
We sold. You bought your 4 potions.
Of course. Excuse me then. That's better. I need to go to my next appointment. I believe I'm doing Curtis Grass somewhere. Anyway, excuse me. And he just walks to the edge of the crevasse and jumps off.
Does he leave his table and stuff behind?
Yes.
I'm gonna search the fuck under that table.
You find the gold that you left on the top of it.
Yeah, actually.
You didn't buy anything.
You didn't buy anything.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. He bought the 2 potions. I bought 2 potions.
Oh well, I marked it off.
1, 2, 3,
Well, I'm
4,
happy to
5,
mark.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got just the same coin each time. Let's see. So here you go.
Other than that, there's nothing else to the table. It's just a simple wood table.
Sorry.
Do you fancy someone having a listen at the door before we head on in?
I think that's a good idea.
I mean, I think we should just walk in, but I think we've just.
Well, she seems to know we're already here.
Yeah, she knows we're coming.
So.
And I think she knows she might know we're coming if the boss room has not been used because they're never here. Excuse me, that lamb shank went down very fun last night.
I mean, we could go in and if we're going fast enough, we could surprise her.
I feel like she's going to be ready for us regardless.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's
boss
just
test.
sat waiting. So,
Hororae, how's before we go in, how's Pivot?
currently with a blacksmith and being taken apart. So I'd quite like it if we could move. Yes, I'd rather not look. Is the short answer. So moving swiftly would be my first choice.
In which case, I'm gonna go help and see if we can find Smiley Face. Run through the door.
Lovely. You run through the door.
Yep.
Entering the final chamber,
You are greeted by the soft clapping of hands as Karen stands waiting, leaning nonchalantly against the alcove across the way that makes the main exit. As the door closes behind you, she claps her hands, and around the circular room, 10 flames erupt from braziers. I say it wrong every time.
I hear it every time, and it. I picture it.
Just these flaming boob holders.
Boob holders.
It's the suffragette part of the campaign, it's fine. Anyway, 2 red, 2 white, 2 blue, 2 black, and 2 green. How fitting. In the centre of the room is a 15-foot wide well, the stone wall of which standing about 3 foot from the ground. As you step in, the door closes, and you notice it's about, I'd say the room is about 60 foot wide at any point, because it's a circular room. She looks up as she's just been cleaning her nails, and Amelia, no. What that? Oh, wow. Balls. I wasn't actually expecting you to get up here, if I'm honest with you. Most people die because of the blue door. Did you not take the blue door?
No.
Why didn't you take the blue? Everyone
Because
likes
we kind of assumed
the
they
blue
would be
is the
dead.
best colour since yellow, so...
Well,
Green's a
only
little bit
one
better.
person could go through
I
it.
mean, green is better, it's a mimic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found that out.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
Yeah. How's it feeling?
Shut the fuck up.
Sorry.
Anywho, sorry, I have decided then, if you are here, that I don't want to deal with you, so I've got a new plan. She just grins.
Sweet, so leave them. Cheers. Nods.
Polite conversation, not an option then.
No, I'm going to go through this door, and you're going to deal with the boss room, and if you survive, then the boss is happy because, you're going to deal with the boss room, and the boss in here will die, and then Solas, the boss, will be happy if you survived because he can have a conversation with you. And if you die, then he'll just find someone else who comes along. I don't know. Couldn't really give a damn. I have decided middle management is not for me.
It does seem to sit uneasily on your shoulders a little bit.
I think it's the snakes either side.
To be honest, they shriek CEO, if I'm really honest.
They're snakes, they can't talk.
Yeah, but like that's the feeling.
Please, we are going to do that.
Yes. Yeah.
As so.
Oh, I wish I could stay and watch, but I have to leave for the boss to come out.
Oh,
Sweet. So,
Good luck with the new job.
Yeah.
You can do it.
I mean, I want to see how
More women in upper echelons.
Cool.
I tell you, actually, that's just the time to be pushing that agenda.
We've got her out the room.
Are you
She's
guys?
still here.
Yeah,
Are you guys finished? If you survive, well done, great, well done. This door gestures to the one behind her. That'll get you to the surface. You'll come out about a couple of miles outside of Long Saddle. But
How far away is she?
she is about. So you've just stepped into the room,
Yeah.
so she's about 50 feet away from you.
Oh, it's fine. I don't do anything.
Okay. So if I'm honest with you, I'm ready to continue this last final bit of your test, as he keeps referring to it. Are you happy to continue the test?
Like, I'm gonna.
I mean, there's happy and then there's.
Okay.
I kind of want to casually try, really casually walk over casually. Just walk over to hey, what's what would happen if you want to do the test? Like,
How far do you get?
I want to be with 30 foot away.
30 foot away. Could you make a Constitution saving throw?
Damn it.
All right,
that's not
Wookie.
great. I was pretty good at that. Constitution saving throw 11.
11.
Yep. That was a 35.
Oh, you idiot.
Yeah.
Oh. Let me just. Wait a minute. I remember the DC was something like that. Let me just. May need to roll a new character. What? Didn't say anything.
Got 3 with me. Couldn't give it.
A splash art just drops. Woof! I saved you, Beardy. Anyway,
I mean,
That would be amazing.
he'd be a gunslinger.
Yes, he would.
Yes.
I mean, I'm kind of happy to kill
It is
Klaxis
the 5th anniversary of Rick Mail's death today.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm totally on board with this.
Sorry, how did...
What number did you give me?
11.
11.
Oh, thank God. Actually, no. Could you give me another Constitution saving throw as you finish your sentence?
13.
There is a moment as you get to the 30-foot mark and you feel your feet stick to the ground and it feels like your boots are made of lead and your entire body just locks up in place.
Let's swim in.
And as you finish the sentence, it kind of releases again.
I have to make a flash shot. I'm going to make him anyway.
Cool.
Please do.
She just looks at you and goes, "That was brave, stepping forward towards a Medusa. You know what happens to people who aren't very clever that step towards Medusas. Why are you still moving? That didn't work then. Cool.
Take a step back.
You just take a step back.
I'm
That's
now
fine.
31 feet away. That was rude. So I'm just saying, like, cool. I'm going to suggest you leave, have a fun time, like, in a cafe, and have a coffee.
Cool. I'm going to then. Yes, this should be fun. Everybody, tatty bye bye. It's been lovely. However, I have a manicure in about an hour and a half. And it's really hard to get a manicure as a Medusa because most times you have to make eye contact with them. And they only do one nail. And then stone. So hard. Anyway, I will leave you to it. And she clicks her fingers and walks back behind the door, just giggling. And it is at this point, as she clicks her fingers, a deep, bassy chuckle emanates from the well. All of you turn as Karen flits through the doorway to see 5 dragon heads slowly emerging from the well. Each of the heads grinning menacingly at each of you, the chuckle now sounding ominously stereo as the 5 heads lean back. None of you misinterpret the 5 heads. This is Tiamat. And we'll come back from the break with you rolling initiative.
I put my...
Cash! Super cash!
Oh my god, I got the first line I want to say.
Flash out my name! Yes, we'll go have a 15-minute break. It's now 31 minutes back. So if you
felt too safe.
if you want to come back for 8:45, I know it's a little bit shorter than 15 minutes, but it'll be fun.
It's a short 20-minute break.
It's a short time to think about the adverts and stuff like that. But anyway, we'll come back and we'll have Tiamat. Apparently, according to my sheet there, it says Tiamat. Anyway, this campaign was really short.
I really liked these characters.
I liked them too until this morning.
I felt so safe when you were like, "Oh, we're going to do puzzles." I was like, "Oh, this is going to be fun."
It was never just going to be puzzles.
Yes. Just have a fight.
But he lulled us into a
Fuck
false
off.
sense of security with a Medusa.
He lulled us in. Not lulled, he lulled us in.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Anyway, back in 15 or so, come back for 1:45. I'll do a bit of speechy things so you don't miss the story. It's very good, I know. Anyway, tatty bye bye.
Did you?
confused face as I try to make this machine work. Hello. Guys. Hello. The break has been a bit of a moment for all of us as I go, oh, for fuck's sake, that ruined my plan. And then these guys have their plans going. It's been wonderful. Anyway.
Oh, we have plans.
Well, you've got no plan, that'll be metagaming.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah!
Do you want Flavor Aid?
I saw a t-shirt today, was that? I really enjoyed Jim Jones' Kool-Aid party.
It wasn't cool, it was Flavor Aid.
I know, but the t-shirt was so good.
Anyway, hello lads, welcome back. I've got 5 music ready. I asked them all to roll initiative, so can I have all of you roll initiative?
You all forgot.
No, you said when we get back you'll all roll initiative, so I was waiting.
Can we have initiative for
15.
15 for Klaxis?
It's a personal high for me.
So 7?
10.
Oh!
Digits.
You still last
And Hororae?
18.
18, lovely.
Mm.
Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So, to give a bit of a catch-up for the guys coming back in, and for you guys, you have just seen Karen, middle management Karen, the Medusa oblongata herself.
I was lying about the whole CEO thing, by the way.
Oh, that really hurt. Go home and write a new character so I can kill that one to punish you for it. Anyway, so yes, Karen left, summoned Tiamat in the middle of the room,
And now I'm stress eating.
and now you're each of you see the 5 heads rearing out of this 15-foot well in the middle, each of them turning to kind of like survey the room that they're in and looking pissed. We start at the top of the round.
No.
With Ellipsis, who is going to... Okay, cool. Ellipsis is going to run forth, quite happy, 5, 10, 15, 20, and is going to do a slashy. That actually can't get there because of the way that... I would argue because of the way it's meant to be lined up is in that sort of thing. He can. Lovely. Rolls for attack. Pulls his shield and his longsword. And then throws the longsword across the room.
Oh no.
Just completely not caring, punches himself in the chest whilst doing it because they have to take damage, apparently, Steve. 1d8 times 3, that is 6 points of damage to Ellipsis, who punches himself in the face for being a knob-jock. And also doesn't ruin my plan. Thank you, Ellipsis, you beautiful little bastard. Anyway, that brings us to Tiamat! Who's going to take pity on the poor fall in front of her. I'm going to say that the sword landed over there. Takes pity on the poor fall in front of him. And lunges down with one of the heads to bite into it. That's going to hit. Yeah, a natural 20 to hit. Lovely. He's going to take that much damage for biting. 10. Oh gosh, 15. Why did I bring my loaded dice? 20. 20?
Did you just roll 4 5s?
Yes, I did. This is why my characters are broken when I roll them. 20 points of damage! As the first head just lunges down and bites into the shoulder of Ellipsis. Brings us to Hororae Moro. Can I ask you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
Fudge sticks. Wisdom 14. Oh no! This is worse!
It's whispers. Whisper song, it's the whisper song, so whisper song, so you can hear along. Whisper song, it's the whisper song, it's the whisper song, so you can hear along. Whisper song, it's the whisper song, it's the whisper song, so you can hear along. Whisper song, it's the whisper song, it's the whisper song, so you can hear along. Yeah! And as we go back, Hannah is crying.
Hororae, what would you like to do?
Oh no.
With that new information.
I really wish I wasn't standing so close.
I feel like I need to know more about my life. I would like
I told her some cutting things.
to Can I move kind of back and around?
Yeah, so 5, 10, 15 like that.
Yeah. But I want to still have a line of sight on.
You've got a line of sight. It's currently hovering over Ellipsis and everyone else. It's 10 foot tall currently and about 10 feet wide in any position.
I'm going to scream,
Yeah.
it's not Tiamat, and then shoot at the base of one of the heads.
Lovely. Roll for attack.
17.
Hits, roll for damage.
Five. No.
5 points. Oh.
Yes, 5.
5 points of damage, lovely.
Yeah.
So it goes swinging in. The pair of you watching, already getting a bit confused as you hear Hororae shouting, "It's not Tiamat." See that the image of the 5 heads flickers for a second as the arrow passes through it, but it stays resolute afterwards. Anything else for you, Hororae?
No.
Lovely.
I don't know what else to do.
That's fine. Klaxis, this is your turn.
Is the door open?
The door from which you came in, or
the one that Karen scarped
closed?
Oh, what a bitch. I mean, I kind of want to just check it's locked. And we can't just walk away.
My friend!
Nah, that's not what you do. What am I? I'm 5, 10, 15. So I'm 15 foot away from the centre.
Yes.
How is it? Cool. Yeah. Oh fuck! I can't believe I'm doing that. But I'm gonna. So sword and shield out.
Yep, takes all the shit up.
I kind of want to run in and see if I can jump onto one of the heads. But I'm not. I've just seen it flicker.
Yeah.
So I'm probably not. I'd like to, but probably go in the it's just that Leigh character.
Yeah.
So you're just going to go in and slicey.
Slicey, awesome. So you run up the side of it.
I'll just run directly.
5, 10, I'll go with that. 15. Roll for attack. I'm going to ask the question because this is something specific for you. You have things with undead, right?
Yep.
Yeah, this is an undead thing that you have as you cut through.
I can switch, so 25 to hit.
25 to hit. Hits, roll for damage.
I'm gonna. Let me just check on my undead shit.
Just because you need to know to roll that because your blade doesn't care if it's a or not.
It's not a roll, it just adds on to my damage.
Oh, just adds on.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, so that is 10 slashing.
10 slashing.
And then 1 lightning.
1 lightning.
And 5 radiant.
5 radiant, lovely. So you run up, taking the blade, you scrape it across your palm once more, cutting through. As you cut through again, with the amount of damage you've just done as well, it would knock it out. The image of Tiamat's head just drops, and sitting in front of all of you, floating above the well, is a sagging ball of flesh with an eye in the middle. 4 kind of deflated stalks with little eyes floating above it. You would know this immediately because it's one of the quintessential monsters in the world to be a beholder zombie. So lovely.
Am I stood on the actual top of the wall?
You're currently stood one foot on the lip, swinging up at it. Okay.
How high? So from now it's gone back.
Yep.
Is it still like 10 up in the air?
10 foot, yeah. No, sorry, it'd be like about 5 foot in front of you, so you could still swing at it. So
Okay.
it's currently about 5 feet in front of you and stands about 10 feet tall from base to bottom.
I've got 15 foot of movement now.
Yes.
Could I jump on it?
Roll an athletics check for me.
16.
16. You are currently riding cowboy.
Every game you do this.
It's always around this episode as well.
It's undead, and I'm now super strong. I think he wants to rip it apart with his hands.
Okay, cool.
Oh god.
That brings us to what have you done? Suzy. So you see, currently floating in front of you, a beholder zombie.
Oh.
Oh, you're not you.
I'm going to cast mirror image.
Mirror image.
So 3 illusionary duplicates appear in my spot.
Okay.
When a creature attacks, I roll a d20 to see if it hits.
Okay, cool.
Let me see. Yeah. So if their
So it kind of gives you a chance of.
Yeah. So basically, if they hit me and I roll too low or too high, it's fine. They'll like that. It's cool. And after I do that, I'm gonna run to the sword, and as a bonus action, can I
5, 10, 15,
kick
20,
it back
25.
towards?
Make a strength check for me.
Oh my goodness! Adrenaline works. 17.
Moves about 10 feet that way.
It works, but not enough.
I mean, it moves it.
I am
Cool.
quite-
So you clap your hands together. There's a blur on yourself where, as like several different versions of you kind of fade into your existence, almost like the reverse of when the mage hand was cast earlier. And you run across it, kind of leaving like a trail of yourself almost as you move, as the other mirror images of you chase
That's
after
pretty
you.
cool.
And then you kick the blade. It scatters across the floor 10 feet towards Ellipsis, who is just currently staring up, kind of head slowly turning to one side as he watches a beholder zombie and also Klaxis riding it. Anything else for you?
Klaxis?
Anything
Anything
else?
else?
Oh,
for
no,
you?
that was it. Thank you.
Lovely. Brings us back to the top area with
It's a
Ellipsis,
Klaxis
who
then,
is going to go 5, 10, pick up his weapon, and then he will use his action to pick up the weapon. So ha 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 ha. Yeah, and then he's gonna because he's stepped out of range, he's gonna take an attack of opportunity, and he's gonna say that attack of opportunity. That's gonna miss. It's fine. That's his turn. That brings us to Beholder Zombie, who is going to 1. Cool. So, can I have a Constitution saving throw from you, please, Klaxis?
Okay.
10.
10. Lovely. You are paralysed for the next minute. You grab onto the stalks. One of them just turns to you, almost like the creature in the trash compactor in Star Wars, and just starts to light up. A beam hits directly into your face, and you just kind of freeze up and just drop to the ground next to it. You find that the well just catches you. You're currently hanging.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
You're currently hanging in a petrified state off the edge of the well. Anyway. Right, so that's for a minute. The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns and in effect on its own. Success, lovely. So, as it is not your turn yet, we'll deal with that in a minute. That is his turn. However, you are currently there now. He is going to float 5, 10, and look down at Ellipsis and hello, friend. Anyway, that brings us to Hororae.
I'm gonna shoot at him again.
Roll for attack.
Pew pew pew. 12.
12, lovely. That misses.
Thought I might.
It's going to soar. Now you're kind of getting used to this image of something you've heard of in stories from your dad when he used to tell you like the more coolish versions of the like nightmarish stories he used to tell you as a child, apparently. Yeah.
And can I move, making sure to give him a wide berth, but move further towards the door on the other side?
20, 25, 30, I'll go like that.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. That brings us to Klaxis. Klaxis, could you make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
21.
21, you are back, breathing, fun, you are hanging on the edge of the thing, you quickly look down. It's not a big drop, there's about 10 feet below you, but it also looks like there's no active way to climb out of it. That is the end of your turn, because it was at the end of your turn you throw it. Brings us to Suzy!
I'd like to move further away
You
from the
want to
scary
move?
thing. So
Okay,
a little bit
5,
more
10,
towards
15,
another 5 feet. There we
20.
go. Perfect. And I'm going to spin around and try and hit it with a Eldritch Blast, please.
Go for it, roll for attack.
Thank you. 11.
Misses.
Who
Just
knew?
while you release the energy, the ball of disturbed energy just passes through the air, scorching across him, but unfortunately passes straight through his eye stalks. Anything else for you?
That's it. I try to look inconspicuous.
Lovely. That brings us to.
I just imagine you leaning against the wall going like, oh no, I wasn't me.
That brings us to Ellipsis, who has just seen that the thing in front of him is undead. So he is going to use his Divine Strike to try and do damage on him. So it's gonna, if it hits, it does an extra 2d8 on top of the damage and an extra d8 because it's undead. So 3d8 on top of what it should be. Rolls for attack. Just hits. Just hits! That nearly missed. I got scared. Anyway, so 4d8 plus 3. 1, 4, 5. 6 plus 3 is 9.
Was that 3d8?
That was 4d8. And he loses a spell slot. Shut up. I just rolled really great for the bad guy, remember? That was great.
I know.
Decrease. Awesome fish! That's Ellipsis' turn as he just starts carving away at this creature with the long sword is the word I'm thinking of. Speaking of the monster, it is now his turn. He's going to see what he can do. Oh. It uses his Ice Stalk. Cool. It points it towards Ellipsis. So do I roll that on here or do I roll that? Where's my dice thing? 1, 2. Oh.
It's 4 O's. That's twice as many O's as 007 had. I'm worried.
Oh.
5.
Ellipsis drops to the ground.
Oh.
Paralysed?
In a powdery form.
What?
As he has a disintegration ray hit him.
Wait. Hang on. I used Blood Curse of the Fallen puppet first. So he gets 1 aggressive action. No, I'm going to use it advanced, so I only take 2 points of health damage off it. Sorry on that. But he gets 1 aggressive action plus a bonus action and my wisdom modifier for damage before he goes.
Cool. Sorry, so he gets an attack
Yeah.
with a bonus action.
Yeah, so he gets an aggressive attack and a bonus action if he can, and also he gets my wisdom modifier as extra
Cool.
damage.
Aggressive attack, it doesn't have, it's just so you can make an attack.
Yeah.
No. So I'll go with just make it more aggressive. We'll use the last of his spell slots to give it a smite.
Oh, for fuck's sake, no. Roll the damage.
It doesn't matter, he takes it himself, so he got bye-bye. Bye, friend! Cool, so you see Ellipsis just shatter into a ball of smoke and drops to the floor. His shield and his longsword land on the floor with it, I believe. I believe it doesn't destroy his items. Huge or large non-natural items or creations. This range is going to create a 10-foot of it. So everything on him is destroyed.
Everything.
Everything with him is now dust. Fuck you, Holder. Anyway, that brings us to Hororae Moro. As you just see the Ellipsis,
Yeah.
like an old woman breastfeeding.
I didn't need that.
I'm trying to light the
Didn't
boot
need
guys.
that. I'm gonna shoot A again.
Cool.
Oh, fucking hell.
I don't have nothing.
That is not gonna be successful. 9.
9 misses.
And I'm gonna keep heading for the door.
Cool. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Get you there.
Lovely.
Lovely. That was just Klaxis. Klaxis, would you make a athletics to jump out? Sorry.
21.
21, awesome. You just jump back up onto the side there, no problem. You just pull yourself up and almost spin whilst pulling yourself up to look at the creature. What would you like to do?
Does that use half my
I'll go use half your speed to climb up.
So I've got. I'll go 3 steps to my. So just stage right.
Stage right, so 15. Awesome. I think that's stage right. I don't
It's
know.
your stage right, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
No, yeah, fucking fuck. Yeah.
Fuck, get out of that!
I mean, it works.
Awesome. Suzy!
I'm fucking pegging it.
Running.
Yep, dash as far as I can get to that door. That's
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You get to the door and you find there's a wall of force blocking the alcove that gets into the door area.
Oh, fuck. Do I have anything?
Yeah, the bonus actually left.
I've got a bonus action, I don't know this. I think I've got one that I can possibly use. Might as well, I'm gonna die. I place a curse on a target I can see within range, which is 90 feet, until it's concentration. That means I drop that. Yeah, okay. I'm dropping the duplicate stuff.
Images, yeah.
Yeah, gonna place hex on
What's the range of hex?
90 feet.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
And it's bonus action just to do a check.
Yes.
Awesome. Yep, you play there's a hex on it. So it's going to be hex.
Until the spell ends, deal plus 1d6 necrotic damage every time I hit it with an attack.
Cool.
Choose an ability to give it disadvantage on. If a target dies, bonus action to be blah 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 blah. Yeah, so do I know anything about undead beholder abilities?
I'll go with you place that on the next turn. You've already used your action, your bonus action to cast that, sorry.
Alright, yeah, that's fine.
I think that's how it works.
It's
When you
the
hit
same-
it, isn't it?
when I hit it, I do the extra damage, but it just says choose an ability.
So
to
just
give.
quickly check how it
Yep.
works. Just not be a nightmare.
Yeah, but choose an ability to give stuff.
Oh, okay.
Where you got hex?
That's inspiring.
Hex, you place curse creature.
I think it means to do something.
Also, choose one ability when you cast the spell. Oh, when you cast the spell,
Yeah.
the target has disadvantage on ability checks with the chosen ability. I would go and make a nature check.
Nature check.
Hey!
A natural 20!
It's only our second one.
As a zombie, you would know that it has an undead fortitude, which means that it rolls Constitution to basically make sure it is fine instead of dying.
Fuck its constitution.
Cool.
Right.
So it now has disadvantage on Constitution. Awesome. That brings us to the Beholder, who is now going to float this way. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I think that's the speed. No, it has a float of 20, so it can only get there. That's its move. Lovely. That brings us to Hororae.
Ellipsis was Asimir, right?
Yes.
What do I know about Asimir?
Roll a nature check.
22.
2.
Celestial beings, basically fallen angels to the material plane. They are essentially the good version of tieflings kind of thing. So where Suzy has demonic blood in her, he has angelic blood in him.
Does that mean that he can actually die? So, for example, does his soul materialise somewhere else?
He died fighting a beholder,
Yeah.
and then was reborn as a paladin. So, off the limited knowledge you have, you would go with he's possibly going to wake up again.
Do I do it now or do I wait?
Wake up in 1978 as a detective.
A ball of energy round him. Walks into the biker bar and he's some of his clothes.
I'm gonna move around and back so I've got line of sight on. Hold on.
10. I'll go like that. 15 to get you.
And I'm just gonna shoot at him again.
Go for it. Roll attack.
Ah! 13.
13 misses.
It goes soaring over the head of him. Maybe just seeing Ellipsis drop like that, or seeing just a party member, not specifically Ellipsis, but it's just throwing the game off and just struggling to hit. Klaxis.
We're gonna go towards him and just slash it.
Go for it. 10. Roll for attack.
18.
18 hits. Everyone rolls them dead, so you get to do fun things.
12 slashing.
12 slashing.
4 lightning, and then
4 lightning.
8 radiant.
8 radiant, fucking hell. Yeah, you just run up, scorching across the lower jaw, just hanging loose, and just completely carve off the bottom jaw of this creature as it just drops to the floor, slamming onto the ground with the kind of noise as it hits. Anything else for you?
No, I'm busy killing.
Lovely. Dr. Suzy Planchett. Get shot.
Gonna. Eldritch Blast.
That's that. Roll for damage.
Oh,
Roll for
fuck
attack.
me. Sideways.
What did you got?
Right, I rolled 2.
Two?
That's an entirety of 8.
Nope, it misses. Sorry, you don't get that. Sorry, I know we literally just looked at it. You didn't get advantage, it was you get extra
No,
damage.
just extra damage.
Awesome. That brings anything else to you then?
You know, I'm going to stay right where I am. I think
Awesome.
I'm okay.
As you bring your head up to cast the spell, there's kind of almost like you get the sense, get a burning sensation around your neck as the collar, not the collar, the necklace kind of starts to burn into your skin a little, and you kind of, it's almost like if you were a physical gun, you have just misfired trying to fire the bolt off. It doesn't damage you, but there's this burning sensation around your neck right now.
That's going to make it then.
Love it. That brings us to the beholder who is going to try. I'm going to say he goes to the body. No, not like this. So that. Let's have a look. Klaxis,
Hey.
could you please make a constitution saving throw for everyone, please?
14.
14, awesome. 10. You take 5 points of necrotic damage.
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome. You see one of the eyes turn around to you, starts to glow, this kind of weird blackish orb around it, and then just looses a blast at you. You get this kind of feeling of like itchiness running across you, but you kind of fight it off and it just cancels out. That brings to Hororae Moro.
Shoot at him again.
Go for it, roll for attack.
19.
19 hits, roll for damage.
Ooh, 11.
11.
11.
Lovely, you hit it straight in one of the eye stalks. I'd like to roll a d4 for me, please.
Oh my gosh. 4.
You take out its disintegration rate.
Thank
For that!
You try to take an aim, just watching, you just let loose the bolt, and it smashed straight into the stalk, pulling it completely out of the body and pinning it to the wall behind it. Anything else for you?
No.
Lovely, that brings us to Klaxis again.
So I can sleep, just swing away on it.
Go for it.
A natural 20.
Hits, roll for damage.
8 slashing,
Lovely.
1 lightning, and 8 radiant.
8 really lovely. You just slash across again, this time opening up whatever like wounds you can see inside of it as it's just kind of the flesh is starting to hang off it. It looks like it's starting to melt away almost in midair. However, it's still holding on. That brings us to Suzy.
Can I also,
sorry.
Can I just spit it?
Yes.
I'm angry.
Eldritch.
Average roll for attack.
Oh my fucking Christ. 10.
10.
Because you got that 20.
We're getting better.
Yeah.
We're getting better. We're climbing back up.
You've used
Oh,
all
it's
your
fine.
luck.
I feel like I'm like a little finger. It's like, come on.
Cool. You bring it again, and just another searing sensation around your neck. You start to take 2 points of. You take 1 point because of your resistance, and you take 1 point of fire damage as the necklace around you starts to burn around your neck.
Oh, he's getting angry at you.
Ooh, I don't like that.
That brings us to the beholder zombie who is just pissed and is going to. Can I get another constitution saving throw from you, please, Klaxis?
11.
11. Oh god. 4. 9. 12. And 16. You take 16 points of necrotic damage as it just that beam again loads up and just sparks into you. It seems to be just focusing all of its energy onto you at this point. That brings us to you, Hororae.
I'm gonna shoot at it again.
Go for it, roll for attack.
19.
19 hits, roll for damage.
Oh, outside my box, but it's okay. 10.
10.
Piercing.
10 seconds, please. Easy 5, so it has to be 15 at disadvantage. So it's failed there.
How do you want to do this?
Yes! Rip right through its eye.
Lovely. You
Ideally, like pierce it against the far wall. That'd be great.
You let loose the next bolt. It slams into it and flings him back towards the wall. However, the bolt doesn't is too small to pass through him and hold him there with its own. So this has this bleeding effect coming from the middle of the iris as it just slowly starts to wobble in place, and then you get the sense of from what you know. Planchett of it trying to do this constitution save thing that it seems to have, where it seems to reinvigorate itself through its own zombie material, but unfortunately it just sags and the entire bag just looks like a balloon that's been caught on a nail that hangs against the wall, and then it's ground.
Cracking. I'm gonna go up and cast Cure Wounds.
Cool. I mean, you can do what you want. I'm going up to the remains.
Okay, cool. I'm literally gonna be like,
yeah, cool.
fucking
That's
take
lovely.
some.
Cheers, thanks. I'm just going to go up
What
to the
do I
remains
do?
of 3 dots.
Yeah.
Plus my
And just
ability.
sit next to them, cross-legged. Because it's just dust in it.
Yeah, just dust.
You get 11.
Oh, I haven't. I mean, I have health potion. Thank you very much.
I know, but we can then save them,
Thank
is my thought.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit by them quietly and peacefully watch for a bit. Whilst definitely not being immensely angry at everything.
Am I able to collect arrows?
You'd get half of your.
If it's an odd number, do I get round up or round down?
up.
Thank you.
Can I put her over to where Klaxis is and just be like, is there anything we can do? No?
No.
Do you think we should take a little bit of him? Like, I don't know.
I don't know how helpful that would be.
I don't want to leave him here.
I believe it won't be the last we see of him. In one form or another. I suppose we'll find out.
Is the room now safe from what we can see?
Yeah.
It seems to have gone to a completely eerie silence in the room. There's nothing else in the room that you can see.
Sweet.
Is that weird force fieldy thing dropped?
You walk over to the door and don't sense any wall.
Anything you want to do before we go out there?
I'm gonna get a bit of him just in case. Like, it feels weird leaving him. Like, I don't know about you guys, but
What do you plan to do with it?
admittedly I'm not sure yet. But I like to think I know when I see it.
Take enough to bury properly.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'd like to fish out some parchment from our bag and make like a rudimentary
Envelope.
because I don't have anything else.
That's fine.
Unless anybody's got something better, I'm just gonna shove a little bit of him in.
I don't have anything better. So yeah, take as much as you can.
Delicate shoveling. What's happening?
Gonna just say make a dexterity check. just for.
That's dexterity save or throw.
You fucking sneeze.
So just add your dex mod.
11. 11, please, let me be 11.
Cool. Yeah, you get up a fair amount of it, but it's hard to get off the concrete floor that you're currently on. So you get like a fair few bits of it. But
oh dear. Ellipsis.
Anything else you want to do before we move on and chat to
I'm just going to slowly get up.
this bundle of joy?
Go over to the beholder and just kick the shit out of it. Quietly.
no, that's fine. You walk over and just start letting loose on it.
I'm just going to stand quietly at the door. Let him get it out.
Do I... No. Because I'm remembering what Ellipsis said before about him coming back, is that he woke up again where he died, which suggests that he came back to his body. So...
There's no body.
There is none.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised if he comes back in my bag.
Was there Did he say anything about how much time had passed?
He died in the middle of a fight with a beholder and
Yes.
he came back as the beholder was being killed.
Okay.
Which would imply that he should be back by now.
You can wait or you can go, is my suggestion. Actually, how long would you say you took to do this kind of kicking around and such like that?
I'd say a minute of kicking is
Just
quite
a minute
hard.
kicking and then a couple of minutes. So you'd say that about 15 minutes have passed, I'd say, altogether since the end of the fight.
Mm.
Well, you can wait another 15 minutes or so if you want to just sit on the well and wait. I'm quite happy to.
What do you guys want to do?
I suppose we kind of owe it to him. I mean, I wouldn't be adventuring if he wasn't here, and he's helped us out a lot, really. I mean, you know he's grumpy and stuff, but... And he has his opinions. Got a lot of opinions. But...
Up to you guys. What do you want to do?
I vote an extra 15 minutes.
One for 15 minutes. You two, you?
Well, fine either way. We can wait.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is not because I planned this or anything, because I didn't know he was going to die in this, but I did know if he did die, something would happen. Especially if you collected some dust up.
Oh no, is this going to be awkward for
I'm going to
everybody?
go with all of you get this weird sensation of like it tastes like zinc at the back of your throat about 10 minutes into this next 15 minutes. You get this weird sensation of like the room feels electric. The entire room feels like it's building up with an energy, and just in the place where Ellipsis fell, there is a slow kind of swirling of air as the dust that is still remaining on the floor starts to swirl in kind of like a tornado.
He comes back 4 foot.
Comes back,
Put it back! Put it back!
comes back as a dwarf called Grim. No. Hello, fuckfaces! Welcome to D&D. Anyway, the air starts to swirl, and there is kind of like almost like if in the next room someone was playing with some sort of electrical wires, you can hear crackling like in the far distance almost, and then bolts of light start to just kind of explode in the area as if lightning is just exploding and hitting the ground where he fell, and then Ellipsis appears, fairly familiar to his original look. However, he currently has an eye patch on, has very simple clothes on, rather than his armour or anything like that, and is just stood completely unarmed, just in simple clothes, eye patch. Hair is still blue, kind of like swept back, still about 6 foot-ish, still quite muscular. However, this point is completely unarmed, has no items on him that he had, and just lands kind of almost not in that Schwarzenegger fashion, but kind of does a bit of a crouch as he lands into the space, just looks up and goes, "Right, who the fuck are you three?" Wow. Magic time.
Does he look at least in as good health as he can be?
He looks fairly good in terms of health, but he is, like I say, none of his items are on him.
I'm thinking more of, do I look like I need to run up and
he
cast your
he
wind?
looks fairly perky for someone who has just died and turned into dust a couple of minutes ago.
Do you remember who you are?
That's a fuck. I didn't think of that one. Who?
I've got a diary that can fill in the next, last few days. If you want to look at that.
Cool.
Your Ellipsis. Where?
What the fuck calls someone Ellipsis?
Well, he calls you 3 dots.
Alright, sweet.
3 dots. 3 dots is better than a. Oh, such a fucking wanky name.
You're a.
Oh fuck! I have the biggest headache. Oh.
Well, you did just die. So what?
What? Sorry.
That thing is...
Start talking very quickly, because you're saying some things
You're a paladin for this giant dragon, okay? And the dragon said, I need some orbs, so you went off to get these orbs, and then we got stuck in this place because some dick called Solas trapped us and said, we need to do some tests. And then we did the test, we got through, we were doing all good, and then there was an undead beholder, and it kind of zapped you, and you turned into a pile of dust, and then we're really upset. I'm really sorry, I've got some of you in my bag. Do you want it back?
No.
We can deal that with it later. And yeah, we knew you'd come back from the dead before, and we decided to wait and check. Welcome back. How's it going?
Well,
Would you like a drink of water?
why would I be a paladin for a dragon? You'd be a paladin for a god for anything, surely. And as gods
pretty
are,
sexy
although
big
they
dragon.
exist, they are a bunch of ballbags. Why would I ever spend time with them?
This is a very different ellipsis, guys. Okay,
I feel like maybe time for discussion and questions is a fraction later.
There is a moment now as you finish this conversation. He kind of sits, kind of rocking his head a bit, trying to get rid of the headache. He starts to look like he's being hit by bullets. And then there is a moment where he looks like his entire left arm goes limp. And then there's a bit where the entire body of him goes limp and he drops to the floor. And you wait a minute or two, and he gets back up, standing. Okay, fuck, wow.
Are you okay?
Do you still need the journal?
Oh, I died by a beholder twice now.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but died twice by a beholder who? Nope, not me. I'm still standing and ow. Huh.
We don't have to tell anybody if we don't want.
Okay, Hororae, Planchett, Klaxis.
Nope.
Close enough.
Nope.
It'll do.
Where's Shiny?
That's what I'd quite like to go and... Yeah, I flick down the monocle of companion sight, bracing myself.
While she's doing this, can I give...
It's not going to be good. It's been like
Oh, she's doing
a
this.
good hour and a half.
I'd just like
He's
to
in
arm
bed.
ellipsis, just in case. Because he's
You'd like to arm ellipsis, sorry.
Yes, please.
Awesome, what are you giving me?
I'm going to give him things I don't use, basically everything, which is a hand axe and
Hand axe.
2 daggers.
Hand axe and 2 daggers. Lovely.
Yep.
Awesome. Awesome fish. Sorry. What you see as the inky black. No. What you see, because I had
the
this,
floor from this angle and his arm over there.
you see the village square that you fought the Etin in, and you're standing at quite a height at this point, so you're imagining he's standing, and you can see one arm in front of him with the blacksmith in the hand squeezing.
Yes!
As you then kind of get him, you have no ability to control him through this, but you kind of get this sensation that he's finishing what he's doing with the blacksmith. He looks around and there are just bodies everywhere in the village square. Just all of them crushed larynxes. One of them looks like bludgeoned in the head with a crowbar of some sort. And then he brings you get this sensation. Brings the hands up, but only one of them comes up.
We can do something about that. We can fix that. We need to go. We need to go now.
Alright,
We
sweet.
can go.
3 dots, 1 eye. Come on.
3 dots, 1 eye. Oh, this is going to be a long fucking nickname if I keep dying. Okay.
I'll have a chat about that later, because... Hey.
Oh yeah, Klaxis. You're the one who has a boner for the Raisin Queen. Let's keep going.
The Raven
I don't have a
Queen.
boner for the Raisin Queen. I just, respect the work she does, and she's got quite an ass.
That might be the
Cool.
competition.
I'll lead the way then. He starts to walk out towards the door for the stairwell down into the
Nope.
grass.
No, the other way. Come on.
Oh, you guys come up.
Go in.
You guys, I'm not even asked for a marching order. You come up outside of this kind of mound of snow, which seems to have like an opening just in the middle where the clearing, not the clearing, the tunnel that you follow up through the stairwell that is behind the door comes out onto open surface. You see just off in the distance is Long Saddle. Looks about half an hour's walk or about 15 minutes run if you want.
I'm marching
Cool.
off.
You start marching off just directly in her distance.
Following.
I'll go with that then. As you get there, you just find Pivot sat in the middle, just rocking a ball of snow back and forth with one hand and catching it, and then rolling it again. The right arm is completely removed, and there is a gash that has been made in his helmet area that makes it now look like he has a jaw. And as he comes up, you see the socket that would be the linking the arm kind of move, and both arms come up to go. So it just comes up with one foot here, one thumb.
Can I see where his arm might be? Like, go and investigate the blacksmith.
Make an investigation check with disadvantage for it.
Oh, fuck. Of course, one of them was a natural 20. $17.
17. You find the blacksmiths, you can't find the arm, however you find a fairly familiar looking longsword with the same coloration of Pivot's metal.
Just like put it in the hole.
I don't think that's the point right now.
It'll work for the
You
moment.
hear just
I know, but
as he comes up behind you in the door and just kind of leans in, and the weird kind of sensation of how his jaw is hanging a little bit, it looks like he's smiling at you through the door as he just leans down and looks in.
I'm gonna hug
The
him.
most important question right now is the chalk still there? Yes!
You also notice
that little
that there is still
Fantastic.
the cleaning rag.
Oh. I'm gonna hug him.
Cool.
I'm taking that fucking sword.
Yep, you have a longsword, a +1 longsword now, essentially, would be the best way to describe it.
can I have a mosey around
No,
town
you
to see if anyone's
You're not
alive?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
That's 12.
Looking around, most of the buildings seem to be deserted. It's surprising as there were people living here, but as you go through buildings, they have squalor type setups inside of them. So, like just a bed rag and a rudimentary campfire in the middle of the living room. The
Jesus.
buildings look like they haven't been lived in years properly.
Doesn't look like a real place.
It looks like nobody's been here.
Can
But
I go
there are
to the
people-
pockets of one of the people who hasn't been bludgeoned to
Yeah,
death?
make an investigation check for me.
Oh, what a fun thing to say.
I'm so proud.
It's wonderful.
Serial killer.
14.
Find 50 gold.
Fucking sweet. Wasn't what I was looking for, but I'll take it.
And that's about it on him.
Like the sheet, no paperwork.
No, nothing on him.
I'm not going to complain about the 50 gold, but at the same time, they got them.
Where are we? Sorry, Ellipsis chimes in as you
We're
guys.
in Long Saddle.
Why are we in Long Saddle?
We were heading
To Enzo Baranzan.
to Menzo Baranzan.
Oh fucking hell! It was gonna. No.
Klaxis wants to go there.
I mean, in fairness, it's got a good nightlife.
I think they're saying to you wanting to go there to the village town just shy of it as well.
Not,
'cause
not
of
specifically. Anyway,
It's
that's by the by. We arrived. There was a two-headed giant. We killed the two-headed giant. They weren't very best pleased about it. Turns out they've made it or something. And
They cursed a giant to make an etting.
Yeah.
looks about as much.
You know, who the fuck's living in Long Saddle? I'm assuming some sort of like sorcerers.
Probably.
Bantry.
Yes.
The bird trees died out 100 years ago.
Apparently not.
No.
He wouldn't explain that though, so I'm a little bit.
Well, he did suggest that he'd want to talk to us afterwards. So, I mean, I'm in two minds. Part of me would quite like to stay here because I can use the forge to repair.
Well, if you want to
Pivot,
stay here, and
but
you
also perhaps getting as far away from where Silas Bantry is likely to be is probably also a good idea.
I'm only making very uneducated leaps here, but if I was a bird tree and I wanted to stay anywhere, and he just points up to the hill which has a large wooden manor sat on it. Bantry Manor is possibly where I'd live.
Yeah.
So if you want to stay here, he's probably going to be in there as a base of operation. If he's not here, then where the fuck is he living?
Would because I've got smith's tools among other things, come with, would that enable me to fix him on the road?
On the road, no, you'd need a forge.
Yeah, thought so.
Also,
if it was pulling out the dent stuff, then yes, but if it's like building a new arm,
yeah,
no.
it's building a new arm. No.
I think he has the orb.
Orb?
Yeah, there is that.
The green orb that
and
we found
Matthias.
from the hill giant.
Okay,
What is
this
it with
is
you
a
and
lot
Matthias,
of
by the way?
fucking. Can I just have your diary?
Yeah, I'll pass it over.
Pass it over. He speed
Matthias
reads it
is
in
not
about
just
10,
a
15 minutes.
random
Is it just the diary of what's happened since you've left? Sorry, just checking.
Yeah, so it starts from since we left,
Okay, so
and has interesting tidbits.
observations.
Cool.
Oh my
Of
God,
historical
how bitchy
note.
have you been in the
No,
last-
it's
Give us
literally
a rough
all
overdraft of
historical.
things that we wouldn't know from the podcast. Or
Oh, I think it's pretty much okay. Give us my thing, please.
is there anything that I should be like? Oh, she
Oh,
likes
she might
Klaxis'
have
bum.
made
She
some less than positive
comments about.
ellipsis.
Cool. Pass it over. Sweet. I'll quickly skim read this and go.
Like, so...
So, Matthias is not, I mean, he is a skull, but not just any old skull. You remember the extremely bloody torture room that was next to you where we found him?
I remember being ill.
Yeah, and you remember the letters on the wall and how some of them were crossed out?
what was
Yeah,
that?
so if you take the crossed out letters out of his name and rearrange it, it becomes Tiamat. And you may or may not recall that Tiamat had a son whose name is quite relevant. Yeah, also Matthias. I thought it was, but I was just
But it
scrolling back
wasn't
to check.
Matthias, it was Matthias.
Matthias. So I mean, I'm not really one to jump to conclusions, but that's a bit convenient, especially given what we've seen.
For him to have gone missing after being taken by someone who's obsessed with trying to get the chromatic dragons back in.
Yeah, I don't really see that as a very positive thing.
No.
So I'm not especially keen to go and find him, but I also feel like that might be the right thing to do.
It's probably with the orb if it's.
We either head up the hill to the manor, or we wait here overnight. You can try and fix up.
We need to have a break.
What do we know about the burn trees?
Fucking nothing, mate.
I can't be head of.
I should know. One moment, I haven't written this bit up.
There you go. Thank you. I've not read all of it because
That's
that's it
fine.
hurt. But I'll pull some notes from that at some point and just
There
go.
you
He
go.
thinks that you think he's an asshole. Anyway.
The Bantries were lycanthropy family, and they should be dead. But they,
Died 100 years ago.
yeah, he shouldn't exist. There is no
But they
evidence.
do. I'm just thinking before we stroll into his house, is there any kind of nugget of information that we can glean that might help us in any way, shape, or form?
He said he had some other lichen friends, but in different forms.
Perfect.
So.
Don't remember anything.
Right, so I suggest we rest up tonight.
Yeah, I've got nothing left.
Hororae, are you going to fix an arm in one evening?
How will I?
I would go. It's going to cost you 250 gold and at least 2 days of work to build a new arm.
2 days.
Right, so just, I don't know, put the sword in the hole or something for now. Just give him a weapon.
Yep. Could do that.
It's
not perfect.
Sword in the hole will not do anything, but getting it in his hand, because they do have the ability to hold swords. As I said, if you build it with a hand, it will literally hold a sword. But you then have the options to give it the unarmored strike or whatever from the sheet. So you could just say he now has a +1 longsword.
Yeah,
and
I'll
roll
do
him stats on
that.
that.
I'll do that. I'll give him the long sword.
Cool. So he takes the longsword in his hand. He kind of waves it around a little bit.
Don't lose it. I will make it into your arm when we get a chance.
I suggest we rest up or something before we go strolling in, as you say. Can I check to see if there's the best house to be in overnight?
All of them seem to be fairly sturdy. It's
Okay,
just, like I
so-
say, they've just not been lived in a while, so they're quite dusty.
Can I do a check to see if anyone's left the town?
Yeah, make a survival check for me.
19.
Fresh snow, covered everything. There's no tracks of anyone leaving the last few hours.
Oh. I went, it's versatile, so you can do 1d10 if it's 2.
Technically, it is two handers. One of them is his hand.
But I don't think you'll let that
No, I
count.
won't.
No, we're
Well, you can hold it as well for him.
We'll hold it together.
What do I'm?
It's a longsword, isn't it?
Longsword, yeah.
So it's strength plus prof.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
1 DF plus. Yeah.
1d8 plus.
So you guys are camping up in a bed, in a house. Sorry.
the least smelly.
Least Valley. Yeah, you find a house. Just pulling all your resources into one of the buildings. You make the ability to light a fire in there for warmth. You sit down with Ellipsis and explain.
I'm going to cast
for him
alarm as well.
through your thing. You cast alarm. Cool. That is the evening of the 5th of winter. You rise the next morning. Nothing seems to happen throughout the night. No one seems to interrupt the building. The alarm didn't go off. Anyone who kept watch didn't see anyone coming up to the windows or anything like that.
Is there, because it's early in the morning, is there smoke or anything coming from Burntree Manor?
No smoke coming from Burntree Manor.
Any sign of life?
Nothing at all that you can see from this distance away from it.
I just need you to enjoy that I've written in brackets next to the longsword, pivot's arm, and then hyphen pivot armed. Because
Oh
I'm
my
that
god, I didn't realise you could get campaign disadvantage.
I mean, I didn't plan it, but I was halfway through writing it and I went, this needs to be said out loud.
I'm glad you shared.
The joy of the podcast, because you can see me hating myself on the stream.
Will his lack of arm affect anything?
Lack of arm, no.
Cool.
As long as you're looking after him as usual.
Yeah, looking after him
I'm
as
going to go
usual.
with Ellipsis, basically scavenges through the bodies that are surviving, not surviving, the remains of the things, and pulls together some leather armour and such.
Lovely.
So he does that over the morning.
Is there anything else I can collect from the bodies that may be useful in terms of repairing pivot or
Nothing in terms of repairing pivot.
no, or anything useful?
I'd go with, there were about 8 people, so let's go with...
Yeah, I'll search for money with how
you
much
will
I'm going to
find
spend.
200 gold amongst the bodies. Ellipsis gives you your hand axe and 2 daggers back.
Thank you.
Planchett.
Yeah.
So, what's the plan now then? If I know you've got to fix we've got 2 days to fix Shiny, or we can go on without it. It's another. Where are we? Long Saddle. If you were going to go. It's another 3 or 4 days to Tribor if you want a major city. But that's heading away from Menzoberranzan if you're going to Menzoberranzan. And I don't exactly want to go near any people at the moment. If the last 2 times I've gone into a fucking city, it's been fun.
Suggestion?
However, I do need equipment. But yes.
We could scout out the manor, double check if anybody's there. If nobody's there, we get your 2 days and you can use the forge. Is that?
Yeah.
Scouting?
Yeah,
Are you happy to
can
scout?
do.
Scouting. What else do you need?
I prefer a greatsword. Because he lifts up the longsword that he's pulled off one of the bodies and goes, it's alright, but it's small.
Yeah.
Like, I have to overcompensate for something. And obviously my wit is too much, so
Yeah, I don't
I
know if I
could
can
just
help with
jump
that.
on it, couldn't I? What? Sorry.
We'll find you something.
Cool.
Man, I might have an armory.
Yeah, they might have an armory, like you say, that'd be fun. I just want some decent armour that isn't chafing and a greatsword. I don't care about anything else. Shield might be fun, but
Might be stuff at the manor.
yeah. You want to go check the manor out?
Let's do that.
Cool. You step out of the building into the village square, and you follow this path up, or at least there would be a path there if there wasn't for all the snow that has constantly fell throughout the evening as well. It's just endless snow for the past day and a half now.
I'm gonna pull Ellipsis to the
Yeah.
back of the group. So you've died twice now.
Yeah.
What are you?
complicated.
It's not an answer.
I mean, it kind of is. I am, to the best of my knowledge, very lucky, or some sort of. I just thought I was a human, but obviously not.
I believe you're an Asimir.
I mean, that's just rude. Sorry. You can't be pretty as well as annoying, alright? Just give it. Anyway. Can I, sorry. Oh, sorry. There was... Anyway. So Azamar is a celestial race, half human, half celestial. They are angels on Earth, or angels on material plane, excuse me, for my slip of cosmology. It's, I'm assuming if I do this, and the wings just burst out of his shoulder blades, I go, I mean, that's kind of cool.
It's quite pretty.
Oh, fuck, I can only do that one a day. I did this last time! Oh, fuck. Cool, it's fine, I'll just sleep and apparently that'll fix me because... Anyway, yeah. Azamar. Not one for status quo of humans and other races, I believe.
I mean, you like better than us, so...
You know what the hang on. You know what the problem is. So you are under the regime, or not under the regime, or you specifically, but the Raven Queen is the kind of conduit of dead souls to the next round, whichever round they choose. However, because I'm a celestial being, I don't go through the Raven Queen. I go through my pantheon. I don't know what it is. I think it's something to do with lightning. I can't remember. That one's hard to put on.
I mean, do some research for you. Doing research for everybody else.
We can do. I'll research it. I'm apparently a knight of the cognition, which sounds like a load of wank.
I ain't saying anything. Got a really cool dragon boss though.
Oh, dragons are just trouble.
He's really big.
Dragons are pretty big, and then they go and they burn a village down, or they decide they're going to take domain over somewhere. They are all big because they've lasted out.
He didn't see. Actually, no, I'm not going to say that. No.
What colour scales?
He was silver.
Okay, so he's half trustworthy.
He's on a professional level, fascinating guy. On a personal level,
so is a Serac, if you think of it that way.
I mean, if I can speak
Kills
to him.
thousands of people in a sneeze, and I'd actually like to read his autobiography though, because
Well, he did sort of
what made him do that? Was he bullied as a child?
I'd ask for a fraction less than half, in that he was instructing you to collect these orbs, and any one person having those orbs is
Though he didn't
not
seem
really the best
convinced.
idea.
I've got brief memory of the past few days. It's fine. I know about those things. I've read your diary for one. I have blips of memory. It's fun. However, I still don't trust him. And I trust him less now that I'm not on his leash.
What do you mean not on his leash?
So it takes the longsword and goes, just stays as a longsword. I can't ask for things nicely anymore. I can call him other things like bastard, fuckwit.
Does that make you feel better?
Nope. Fuck it, I'll just stick it when you end it, it'll be fine.
We can work on this. We've got time. I think we've got time. Well, we can find out if we've got time when we go see that manor.
We have to go to Menzo or Arcadia, whichever one you lot chose. I'm still going to be doing good, I'm just not going to be doing it in the name of Shiny. I'm going to be doing it in the name of love. Once more in the time. No, I'm not a bard. I'm not a bard.
Are you sure?
Not a bard.
Are you really sure?
How many classes can you multi-class in one character?
He's thought that one. Come back as next.
Bell end.
I Yes.
I mean,
Classic.
classic.
Hey, speak the name. Ellipsis the Bard. That's
No.
Singing songs about VAT and probably like war and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, my friend Dr. Lucian's probably got that round covered. I'm not. And that's a cool name, like Dr. Lucian. Sounds like the sort of thing that you'd say down a microphone or some sort of like device to be louder, and then you'd pick up a saxophone. He's so cool.
Should I know?
Are we at the manor yet?
Yeah, so I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, you've been at the manor. It's just you've been talking outside for them.
There's a spying operation's going on.
No, you guys have been chatting as you slowly kind of walked up the hill and then took like a respite off the side as this was discussed. You head up to the doors. They are locked. Looking through the ground floor windows, there is no sign of life.
Can I pick the lock, please?
Yeah, make a dexterity. Have you got proficiency with?
I have thieves and tinkers tools.
Have you proficiency with?
I have double proficiency with.
Okay, then roll
Because I'm
dexterity
a
plus your.
badass. So dex plus my double proficiency.
And then yeah.
23.
Awesome. Door opens without any issue. There's a moment where you think it's going to snap, but then you realise that you've put the left stick to the wrong side, so you move it to the other side for a scary joke. Anyway.
I got that one.
You hear a dum-dum. Oh, did someone know that? Anyway. No, the door opens. The creaking of the door shows that the hinges have had no love for the past few years as well. The building itself, as you step in, looks much like the rest of the buildings where there has been no sign of life in this building for several years apparently.
Right. I want to historically investigate the shit out of this place. So fucking hard. This guy has turned up going, I'm a long lost seeing of this amazing thing. I want to find that out.
Just before, I'm just going to yell, Solas.
Sorry?
You should yell his name.
Cool. Everyone goes around the building. You hear a couple of bats somewhere upstairs, but nothing seems to answer.
Can I have a hunt around for anything interesting / anything that...
Make an investigation check, both of you, so you can have your history check and stuff like that.
Yeah. Tit wanking shit.
So you have them out.
8.
8.
13.
13, lovely. Searching around the building, there's nothing of interest. You look at the bedrooms as you go upstairs just briefly, and the bedrooms look like they have been left since someone ran away from this building a couple of years ago. The dust just covers everything. The bed sheets are thrown across the floor. The drawers are hanging out. It's either been ransacked or it's been fled from. There is nothing in this building. Apart from an armory with about 2 rusted chainmail suits and a longsword in. Both the armour and the swords are rusted.
Cracking.
Could you not use that metal at all for like...
You'd have to wash it, like work it down and basically it'd make it cheaper for you to, if you're using the sword that you got and then that there, I would say knock it down to about 50, 75 gold to do
I'll
it, 'cause you're not
take
having
it.
to deal with new
Do I
metal.
know would that metal be good enough?
It's steel, so you know it's fairly strong, it's rusted over, so you just need to get rid of the rust, treat it essentially.
Okay, yeah,
And you
okay.
being someone who's worked with metal a lot through your childhood of clockwork.
I hand it over to Pivot to carry.
Cool. Pivot just kind of takes one sword, then puts the other sword in the next finger, and the other sword in the next finger.
Like drapes the chain over.
Looks off into the distance. Anyway, yes. For you, Planchett, you're looking around trying to look for information that might pull the history, and the more famous part of this manor for its historical value is the family tree that spreads across one wall of the living quarters of it. There is a wall plastered with now fading ink as a tree spreads out and shows the lineage of the Burntree family. No Solas whatsoever. There's no child that was born. The the last dated birth would be 2054 AD. 254 AD. As it would have been. That's why you meant to write it down, idiot. It would have been Nihilus Bertree, which was the son. But he died, according to history.
Okay.
Isn't there a thing, Lips comes in just wandering around, he's currently wearing a monocle that he's found in one of the bedrooms, just walks in, on the one eye that he has as well, just walking in. Isn't there a thing that lycanthropy stops you being able to cast spells?
Do I know
Yes.
that? Yes.
Spellcasters can't be lycans can't be spellcasters and vice versa. The arcane kind of burns it out.
I tell him that.
So, if Solas is a bird tree,
Shit. He can't be.
he can't cast plane shift what he did earlier.
I knew that
Yes.
fucker was lying.
Anyone get a look at any distinguishing features of him?
He was a bellend.
Because I remember
That was very
basically everything, did I?
I mean, good character, right?
Organs were up.
No,
Let's
take
go
notes.
back.
Do you know, like,
I remember he's a slick little bugger, gaunt with black hair, wears a suit, simple, signia of the Bertree family.
so, who would gain from leading a bunch of lycans to believing that their family is back?
Well, they.
Apart from, if we're going gods, Malar, but too big.
I mean, the Bertrees were a big thing,
Yes.
and if somebody wanted to amass an army quickly, what better way than to come? I mean, looking at this place, this place is impoverished.
Lycans
It'd be
would.
so
Wait
easy.
a minute. Oh shit! You've just said it. You're fucking always academic, of course.
What? He's building an army?
Solas asked us what side we were on.
Yes.
Are we on the giants or the dragon side?
I think he's on with the dragons.
He's on with the dragons, and he's building an army of lycans. You know, super ability human type things.
Yeah.
Things that could go down in a fight a lot harder than Klaxis probably. With the greatest respect, actually, there again, I just fell in a fight and you were fine. So fuck it.
I'm gonna have such a moment with Solas when I see him.
I mean,
That little fucker.
it depends what sort of moment you mean.
It won't be a happy one for him.
Oh, okay.
It'll
Okay.
be cathartic for me. I mean,
Okay.
you don't fuck with history like this.
Okay. But history's just written by the winning side, so
Well, guess who's gonna be winning?
currently the army of lycans with dragons
Fuck the
behind
army
them.
of Lycans. They mess with my books.
I mean, you forget this guy here is Lord of the Hill Giants, so...
Oh yeah!
I don't think you tell lots of people that.
No. I'm joking, you fucking
Oh god.
Right, if we sit down, we settle down here for the next day or two, you get your plans together or whatever, you fix a pivot. We want to go to Menzo, and we want to go to Arcadia. Remind me why we go to Menzo and why we go to Arcadia.
Evocation for Menzo, and then Necromancers / Horomancers?
Chronomancers.
Chronomancers, there you go.
Horomancer sounds sordid. I want to work out what those are.
You might be able to find some. I mean, there's always somebody around.
You say it probably exists in this world, probably, yeah.
It's what Hororae will be if she becomes a chronomancer.
Horomancer.
I've just predicted the future.
You both stare around the building. Right, yeah. If we, I say we use this time wisely.
Yes.
Yeah. If we're going, so we wanted to go for big man's sword,
Sweet.
and we want. I think you'd probably benefit from going because evocation is an attack spell, Doctor. Evocation is an attack.
Sure.
Rar.
I do history. I just
She's
remember
going to want
somebody
transmutation. Time.
That's
Oh, transmutation.
That's what we were looking for.
I
And they do have the colleges down there, so
If I can find what I want there, then we don't have to go to Arcadia, but we were recommended Arcadia.
I'm not going to say no if you have to meet a necromancer.
Thought you might not.
Looks like we have a plan.
Cool. So
Did we also-
necromancy or bust is possibly the.
Well, I mean, like, after Menzo, I'm happy to go meet a necromancer because I'll have a bigger sword.
Cool. So we're going with Menza Branson.
Yep.
And then Arcadia.
Yeah.
Right.
Any plans on how we want to get to Menzo? Just briefly.
We were gonna get some horses here, but there
It's
ain't
gonna be
any.
about 2-week walk from here, and this snow is gonna be nasty.
Was there anywhere close that we?
It's fine, anyway. Well, he's not talking to his dragon friend anymore. I don't really want to talk to him. It's like, he could have given us a lift or something, but whatever.
I'm not going down this route.
No, because we can't contact his friendly. He can't train his dragon.
Do you want to be toothless?
You keep dying, I'm fairly sure I'll just have to keep telling you instead.
Keep coming back.
Ah, you prick, you would. He's run out of Klaxis to this.
I'll stop writing fucking glasses.
He will.
The Jekyll Knight is born! Anyway.
Still not happy.
200 years
on
later.
Right.
So
So,
over here somewhere. Because we were going to go to Mother
Men's with long fellows around there somewhere. Anyway, here we go.
so Menza Branson.
Right. If we can find horses, that's grand. If not,
I mean, it's been 5 days. Could always walk back up to Mirror Bar and see if they're open, but again, it's 5 days that we could just cut off the 2-week walk to.
Yep.
I'd rather be moving forward.
Agreed.
I mean,
sweet.
how cocky are you free feeling?
I'm cocky as fuck, mate.
Lord of the Hill Giants is in.
I don't actually like when I feel progress. That's bad.
Why not?
Cool, I've got an idea. We're going to go into the Lurkwood.
Alright. Alright, hang on.
We're what now?
We're going to go into the Lurkwood.
Alright, sweet. Pivot.
Yeah, we're fine. We'll just boulder through. I think we might be able to. Well, we could leave them outside. We just hunt down some creatures that we can use as mounts. We don't have to be horses. Like, could you imagine riding in on like a giant weasel, or giant badger? Giant hedgehog's gonna hurt.
That just sounds quite fun, to be honest.
Giant badgers could.
You honestly think we could tame one of these?
I mean, anything
Well-
is tameable if you stare it outright.
Cool, you take point. And he's got a creepy stare.
So, I mean, I'm just going with if Lurkwood is on the. We're going to circumvent the Lurkwood to get there anyway. Actually, no, we're going to have to travel up to Lurkwood. Don't worry about that idea. It's a stupid idea. We'll think of something.
Let's just get moving.
Yeah.
It's all in the same direction. I'd rather be moving, and so we know we're doing something. It's actually something productive.
Just to clarify, I can pause and
So we'll take a
repair.
day to
Right.
to.
sort ourselves out.
Yep.
You sort out horror. You sort out Pivot. I might come join you in the forge and take apart some of these swords. And
I was
try and
gonna
make
say.
something funky.
If I could, using whatever we find, try and make them a great sword as well.
We'll
in
work
the
something
time.
out. That'll be fine.
Quick question: does anyone mind about this? This man has been quite a tainted family behind it. Does anyone mind if I, burn it the fuck down?
When I'm finished with it.
Sweet, you've got 15 minutes.
No.
No, she's got 2 days.
2 days, thank you.
I
Come on,
mean,
it'd be like a party, it'd be leaving party.
tomorrow night we'll have a bonfire.
Perfect. In which case, as
So we
many.
burn the entire village down if ours.
Oh, we need the forge still.
Yeah, we need the forge. So tomorrow night when we leave.
When we finish.
Let's not do like a cursed earth sort of policy. I'm just suggesting the houses. Ah, fuck it, why not? Celtic good.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's just for the means. Fuck it.
all the time that I don't need to spend resting and eating and stuff, I would like to be
Yeah.
perusing.
Cool. Right. So
we shall end here.
Ah!
It's been a long evening. It's been a very painfully long evening. Thank you for watching Alignment Unknown slowly turning into Scarrow.
Oh Jesus.
So next week we will see. We'll sort out the 2 days between sessions essentially. So we'll discuss what you wanted to do. We'll do rollouts. We'll do a little bit of a chat beforehand, and then we'll pick up at the end of. Essentially, we'll pick up on the morning of burning down.
Bonfire day!
Yeah.
Burning down the house.
But yes, that is that. And we have had some fun. And I now have to work out what I'm going to do with Ellipsis. Do I bard him? Do I bard him? No.
I need to go, mate.
Vote. Let's put up a poll on Twitter.
What do you want Ellipsis to be? But that's going to spoil it. You have to wait till Thursday. That only gives me time to do things.
I mean, you could make him in like a couple of hours.
I mean, I could. I did it this morning.
Do I make Rick Nail my backup character?
Yes.
Yes, you should.
But I'd end up doing like bottom Rick Nail. As
Sorry, are you making an argument for me to say no to this?
like what? I mean, he'd be a warlock because no one loves him. He's a loner.
Eddie would be his patron.
Yeah.
Bitch!
How many friends did Prof have before we turned up?
I mean, she was really working hard on making the rest of the Luskan to tolerate her, but she was also a tiefling, which doesn't really work out in Luskan.
Her only friend lives in a locket.
Oh, lives in a locket around your neck.
Before we turned up and became her acquaintances.
And this is literally you kept following people you were giving a tour to.
Right, for those watching the stream and for those listening, when you hear this, you're allowed to tweet us with just a class. Don't say who it's for, because obviously if you're watching this and then you tweet it and then our podcast is like, but no, it's a Thursday.
Then maybe you should watch the stream.
So what you'll do is, I want you to tweet what class you want Ellipsis to be. I will take closing on midnight Saturday morning, so essentially the end of the evening on Friday for anyone who struggles with my time scales.
Well done.
So that you've got the weekend.
W1.
So I've got Saturday to prepare him,
Yeah.
So UK time, 12 AM on Saturday morning. I would like to know what I'm making Ellipsis into. If you tweet nothing and nobody tweets me, then I'm just gonna make him a bard.
Please
so
tweet.
It's on
Please
you.
tweet.
Please.
Please
It's on
tweet.
you, listeners and
Please
watchers.
Don't tweet about that, just tweet how much you
We'll
love.
put it on the Discord and get
Okay, Richard and Sean.
Sean to
Seal
vote
it.
as
Can't be a bard. Why not? Because bards are shit.
mean-
To quote Tripod. And anyone who's ever played Tripod.
But to
Mercury.
quote Steve, who is possibly, with great respect, the closest thing to a musician at the table, you're a singer, doesn't count.
The answer there is I'm a drummer. I
Here's
don't
some
count.
scissors. just go for the soft parts.
And
for the soft
she's also a
parts.
Don't tell her the soft parts, it's all over, I'm fat!
She's also a bassist, so she's not a musician
True.
twice. You left early, so I'm dissing bassists. It's fine for me to do it as well.
This is true. It's
Anyway,
funny.
oh god, please don't make him a warlock.
Nothing wrong with fucking warlocks, okay? They're
No, you
lovely.
shouldn't fuck
They're
warlocks.
like shit druids, and druids are years.
Druids are really fun. Seriously, just listen to
We'll have this discussion somewhere else.
Bye.
Bye for now.
On the Discord!
Touch
Join
that,
our
right?
Patreon!
Get on Patreon.
You know you wanna.
The minimum is a dollar payment and you get Discord, which means you get to chat with us all constantly.
Because we don't got lives.
I downloaded an app for you guys.
We do this.
This is my life now. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Tell you bye bye.